big mad.
They already mad. They already know what time it is. But look, man, it's content, baby. So let's make content. Let's talk.
Let's do it. Yeah, man. But that's what I'm saying. It's like I don't get it. I don't get why. What's the point? In to me, at least for me, what's the point in trying to switch the narrative to make it look like Shakur is ducking? For what?
Yeah, you guys want to place the blame on somebody so bad, bro. So bad the blame has to be on somebody. I don't know if you're talking about, because there's two different. We got the content creator who's pushing the narrative, but then we got the fans who are doing what they're doing, right? So okay, the fans are doing what they're doing. They fans, but why the content creator doing that?
Right.
Why are you choosing to do that? Why are you moving like that? Why are you using that blasphemous ass word? You know that's a blasphemous word in this space. Why are you so loosely using that word and using such a light? I don't even. I'm gonna tell you like this. I didn't even expect you to say that.
Right.
You threw me off. I was like, I didn't see it coming. I didn't see it coming. It caught me off guard. I'm like, wait, what?
Right.
Clearly, Shakur Stevenson had to push this off because.
Right. Bro, it's
what you got from that?
It's unnecessary to push these narratives in boxing,
especially with these damn fans.
Right.
You got to be careful. It's like talking bad around your kids. You might say something to take it out of context. You got to recognize that they're young, little, feeble, fresh minds aren't ready to process something like. They're going to walk around and throw this in every single platform in creation space that they walk into, and they're going to quote it and they're going to live by it, bro. You have to be more responsible with the way you're speaking out here, bro. That is an irresponsible statement to make, bro.
Right.
In my opinion.
Yeah, because here's the thing about it is that it doesn't uplift the sport of boxing to create a narrative non-organically,
right,
unnecessarily,
right.
You understand? Like at this point in time, right? First and foremost, we know they ain't fighting this year and early next year. It's not even happening. So it's actually pointless. You know what I'm saying? Because we know this not happening, right? And furthermore, or if you just use your common sense in this entire equation, that's all you have to do is use your common sense in this entire equation. Mm-hmm. You can 1 + 1 always equals 2, right? And if you look at the situation overall, all you have to do is look at it and you can see certain things. For instance, how they aggressively on Gervonta Tank Davis's side are aggressively pursuing El Rayo, who actually said no at one point in time.
Right.
He actually said, "No, not going to happen."
Right.
But they're trying. They are persistent in making that fight happen. Because guess what? They want to make that fight happen. When you want to do something, and I always use these different examples, relationships, right? Because it's the easiest way to understand it. Everybody universally understands that. When you are chasing, in the case of men and women, it's more men than women, right? That chase the women than women chase men, right?
Right.
The percentage got to be 90-10, right? So when you are chasing a woman and you are consistently and persistent, 9 times out of 10 you end up with said woman, unless it gets creepy or she has zero interest in you, you know, and you just, you know, it's like, bro, it's just not happening, and you are pushing this envelope that's not even realistic, right? That's when it becomes like, it gets to the point where it's like, okay, bro, do we need to call the authorities? You know what I'm saying? But in natural life, if there's any kind of mutual type of feelings either which way, whether it could be, well, you really my friend or whatever, once you're consistent and you're persistent in the right way, you're going to get it. Right? You're going to know what you have to do so.
Right.
And it's the same thing in the sport of boxing. When you want to fight somebody, they're going to either make it abundantly clear they don't want to fight you, or you're going to get the fight.
Right.
And in the case of Canelo and David Benavidez, it's abundantly clear Canelo has zero interest in fighting David Benavidez.
100%.
Right? And now it's to the point where we can't even say it's not ducking.
Right.
It's just at this point, it's just like, bro, it's embarrassment.
Right.
It's
right.
embarrassing now at this point. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, really? You can't even come up with a legit rhyme or reason as to why you're not fighting this man. Nothing. Right? And so when you look at it from that standpoint, right, it's just want to and not want to. It's just black and white. Either 100%. You do or you don't. So if you got to the point where Robbie Garcia has said this, when I said last Sunday that now a week and a half now, because this is Wednesday. So last Sunday I told you they was in negotiations deep. And Robbie Garcia said, well, we told them, how could you tell somebody something if they're not in contact with you? In order for you to, Clay, in order for me to say, Clay, we going on or we're not going on today, you had to talk to me.
Right.
We have to communicate.
Right.
Right? So that means that they're in communication with one another to stage a fight.
Period.
Why would they be in communications if he don't want to fight? But here's 100%. The thing. Like we said with and another situation we can use, Brian Norman and Boots Ennis, right? We can all agree that this, whether you on the side of, well, Brian Norman priced himself out, or you on the side of Boots should have sacrificed. You know what I'm saying? We can all come to an agreement, though, that they had mutual interest in fighting each other. They just couldn't meet the requirements or the demands on both sides to come to the point of fighting. You know what I'm saying? One side wanted this, one side didn't want to give, so on and so forth. They didn't get done. But they had, the more important thing about it all is, what did they have, Clay? They had communication back and forth.
Period.
They had a banter back and forth, right? We know that Venezuela had banter back and forth because Garcia even told us that they said no. Right. And then they went back and well, what about, but we told them if they really want to fight, we'll do it in February. How you get to that point? There's interest. Right? Same thing. Remember this, and I was the first one to tell everybody this, because why? I had word from Isaac Cruz's team. Remember when the week of the Terrence Crawford fight, I said that Isaac Cruz is planning on fighting Tank next. He got the word that Tank is going to be next should he beat El Rayo. And remember, I even asked Isaac Cruz, why would you take on such a big fight?
Right.
And such a tough fight, knowing what's to come down the road in your first title defense? And he said, I like to challenge myself. Right? So that was August, the week of the fight, the Terrence Crawford fight. Lomachenko, we know that they had conversation back and forth to the point where Loma turned it down. Now we getting different things is coming out that Tank didn't really make a real offer. He wasn't serious on whatever is whatever. Me personally, I just think that Loma was looking for a way out, because I have never heard Loma make such high demands. You know what I'm saying? Like, what was Tank not offering that Loma didn't like? You understand? That couldn't be fixed or couldn't come to an agreement.
I tend to, I push back at that a little to say that it's towards the end of his career. Things change for these fighters. True. Loma may be interested in the money all of a sudden right now. This may make a big difference to him, because legacy is not something that's as big of a deal in this chapter of his career than the money. Legacy is still important, but today's Loma negotiation tactics may be different than 3 to 4 years ago Loma negotiation tactics. He may be interested in and acknowledging and have a team around him that's saying to him, this is a big money fight. And honestly, Lomachenko, how many big money fights has Lomachenko truly been involved with? He's always been paid well, for sure, but this is a big deal. Gervonta Tank Davis is a big payday, so he may be approaching this particular negotiation with a different ear and different eye, and especially if his team is involved with it, and if he's not getting any like ability to counter offer, and it's getting sent to him with a take it or leave it type of condition on it, he may feel disrespected enough to just kind of, you know, show his market value by walking away from it and showing that if you really want the fight, we need to have a better conversation amongst gentlemen about how we're going to do this. You still being the A side, of course, but no, ain't no just take it or leave it. I'm still Lomachenko. I am Lomachenko in my own right. Maybe not on Gervonta Tank Davis's level, but enough to you not to be talking to me like I'm Rolly Romero.
Right. That's true. Listen to KK585. Now we knew this was coming, but they be so emotional that they can't even put a sentence together properly.
Yeah, read it, man. You got to read it before you send it, bro. Like, this is horrible. Shakur ain't don't fight nobody and still can't win in spectacular fashion. And shake my head. You got me saying it wrong. This type of stuff, when you read it, you get a little slower. Like, now I got to go read a book tonight and get my shit together so I can get back on point where I was. You made me have to go ahead and I got to go read a book and go sit and have some quiet time, because this might have actually hurt my IQ a little bit. It might have hurt me a little bit. I don't got time for shit like this.
Hey, Shakur don't fight nobody and still can't win in spectacular fashion.
Right.
Shaking my head. And had the nerve to say shaking my head at the end is what
shaking my head to what you just wrote. But I get, hey K, for whatever it's worth, I get what you were trying to say, brother.
I mean, we can make it out, because
I got what you're trying to say. I ain't gonna do you like that, bro. I get it. I hear you, bro.
Salute to the great brother Ray Davis in the building.
Salute, my co-host. Salute.
Hey man, Hood Rich, what's up, family?
Salute, Hood.
You know, people just, again, it's emotion.
Mm-hmm.
Like just the realest Deuce 4. What's up, family? Just to read that comment alone, right?
Yeah.
Right, but what does Shakur winning in spectacular fashion have to do with anything?
Brother, I've been saying this since day one, Blue. No matter what you guys say, bro, you cannot discredit this fight, the value of this fight, because the only two people that matter in this conversation is Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson. And you hear Leonard Ellaby, he has no personal opinion on it one way or the other. He knows one thing that's for certain, two things is for sure. Tank want that fight, and that's why this fight is going to happen. Not because you're building value in it, not because Shakur went over and he's performing with Joe Cordina, not because of all these dumb reasons that you guys are coming with, and the fact that he can't give you an exciting fight and he don't sell and this, that don't have nothing to do with it. Tank Davis has a $240 million deal with Amazon Prime. One of those fights on that list is Shakur Stevenson, and that's the only reason that needs to be on the table for that fight to happen. And that's why Leonard Ellaby ain't got nothing else to say about it but that. Right. He ain't got nothing else to say but that.
It's just ridiculous to say the things like, well, he can't win in spectacular fashion. What difference does it make?
Tank want to fight.
Okay, so just the JJ 1700, he said winning in spectacular fashion do hype up the fight more. Okay, let me ask you a question. Then why did he fight Frank Martin? Because he didn't beat Artem Haratinian in spectacular fashion. Many people thought he lost.
Mm-hmm.
Many people thought that Frank Martin lost the Artem Haratinian fight.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, is there a way that you can lose in spectacular fashion?
Right. Right. Bro, it is what it is. Shout out to Blaze in the building. Yeah, you making a point, Blaze, but at the same exact time, why is the weight being put on Shakur Stevenson's shoulder as a duck when even you're saying Shakur building his market value up does wonderful things for the fight? Why is that a reason? Why would Shakur care about his market value more than Tank care about his market value? Why aren't they both caring about the market value of this fight? Why aren't they both in agreement on how to approach the rollout for this fight? Why is Shakur ducking Tank? It just doesn't make any sense for it to be such a one-sided affair. Tank is actually the one used to making all the money, so he knows and understands how much the market value of this fight needs to be put up. Shakur is used to getting the money he getting for the way he fights. So if anybody is going to tell Shakur, if anybody's going to push this fight out and be like, brother, I need you to do more, it's going to be Tank's side of the fence who's going to say that, because they know how much the market value could be for this fight. They're used to making the big $30 million, $40 million, $25 million checks. Shakur is just right now about to pull a $5 million check, possibly his first one. I don't want to talk his business, but he's about to pull a $5 million guarantee right now. So who's more than likely going to be the one who's going to be interested in and understand why this fight needs to roll out a certain way to bring back the money that they know it could bring back? Who has more vested interest in it?
Right. Now, listen to KK. Shakur and Devin haven't had a knockout victory in years. Can y'all understand that? Cool, I understand that. Rachel, peace and blessings to the queen. Rachel Donaire in the building.
Sis, what's good?
Now, let's just attest to this. So, you said Shakur and Devin hadn't had a knockout victory in years. Okay, cool. Going into the Oscar De La Hoya fight for Floyd Mayweather, how many knockouts did he have after that? Because after he beat Oscar De La Hoya, he got even bigger and didn't have no knockouts. Outside he had the Ricky Hatton knockout, right?
Right.
So outside of that, who did he knock out? Did he knock out Canelo? No.
Come on.
Did he knock out Madonna? No. The Victor Ortiz knockout was a controversy.
Right.
Right? Did he knock out Robert Guerrero? No. Did he knock out Birdo? Who did he knock out?
Nobody, bro.
Be megastar in the building.
He knocked nobody out, brother.
What are we talking about here? It's not about knockouts. You cannot have it both ways. Don't tell me now he's saying don't compare fighters to Floyd. It's not about Floyd, moron. It's about, you said it's knockouts. A knockout is a knockout. I don't care who knocks who out. So as long as you Floyd Mayweather, you have an exception. You don't have to get knockouts. It don't have to be exciting because you Floyd Mayweather. What are you talking about?
You guys just won't get it, no matter what. You're hard-headed, man. You're hard-headed, man. You just don't get it, bro. The arguments behind Shakur Stevenson's reason as to why this fight's not happening is stupid. It's not. There's no evidence to prove that, and it doesn't. And like I said, the one thing I walked away from watching that interaction between Leonard Ellaby and Eddie Hearn was that A, no matter what the fight is going to happen, B, it ain't the right time for the fight to happen. That's what I got. I ain't get Shakur did it. Matt, you know what else I got, by the way? Tank ain't sent Shakur no offer yet.
He ain't sent him no contract. We know that.
I got that from that interaction as well.
Leonard told us that. He said, you bring up Floyd not knocking out fighters, you can't compare that. You know, I can't continue to go into these conversations because it just makes you lose brain cells.
Yeah, man, it gets bad.
It just gets bad. Like, it's just pointless. I mean, you can again, it goes back to the old saying that I always say, I'm going to tell you the sky is blue, and then you're going to try to tell me it's light blue. Well,
right.
Well, it's because of the ocean. You always going to come up with something. You said that knockouts is what's exciting. Right, Ray. And Shakur stopped Yoshino, right? That was a knockout. But then they're going to tell you the level of opponent, though. The goalpost is going to continue to move. Well, it's because Yoshino ain't do nothing. You asked when the last time he was exciting. He dominated Yoshino, picked him apart, and stopped him. Well, Yoshino ain't beat nobody.
Shout out Blaze. Yeah, Blaze. Yeah, we talk on my channel, so I know where your stance is on that. I'm speaking more so, and Blue's speaking more so towards the masses that are speaking as to Shakur Stevens' reluctance to fight Tank being a duck situation. I know where you stand on it, brother. Trust me. I'm just saying at the end of the day, we understand the marketable aspect of this fight being important about when this fight rolls out. But these dudes, you know what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I didn't mean to cut you off, Blue. I apologize, man.
No, all good. Lil said Blue, do you hate Tank? Again, it just never ends.
And Blue, can I say something towards that?
Yeah,
you guys need to stop. You guys need to stop. You're not Tank's cousin or brother. If I'm talking to you, I'm not talking to Tank. Tank and you ain't the same people. Stop sharing the space with Tank and getting your battles and your downfalls and your weak arguments to be Tank's issue. Tank ain't got no issues. Tank is good and ain't making the arguments that you guys are making. He's not saying the things that you guys are saying. He's not saying nothing. You guys are speaking for Tank on your own free will, and he's not co-signing or saying anything. We're speaking towards this fight being made, the elements and the ingredients that make this fight what it's going to be, and arguing back towards anybody who wants to push back with Shakur Stevenson's movements stalling this fight in any kind of way, and actually arguing towards the fact that Shakur Stevens' movement is adding more value to the fight, that the more he wins and the more that he fights, the more valuable this fight becomes. This is in benefit of the guy that you're here celebrating, Tank Davis. This is helping Tank Davis's mission to have the biggest fight possible with Shakur Stevenson. Once again, no hate on Tank, nothing but love for Tank, nothing but understanding for Tank. Tank is handling business. This is a conversation between us and his fan base that has got things misconstrued, that love to make up words and stuff and put words in his mouth and say stuff that he's not even saying. Don't assimilate yourself. You know what I mean? You going, oh, so you hate Big Bro? Oh, so, no, we talking to you. Big Bro ain't even outside. Big Bro in the island somewhere chilling. Big Bro don't even know what you talking about right now. We talking to you for whatever it's worth.
It's nasty work. No, I know. Lil said it. I know you. I know what you were saying. Lil said it. I'm just saying in general, these people are weird, bro.
Yeah. By the way, Blue, I see somebody mention it, bro. I mean, congratulations to y'all and all that shit. But you know what I mean? Whatever. Y'all move on to the next game, bro. You know what I mean? Shout out to 49ers, whatever they did. You know what I'm saying? That's all good, whatever. You know what I mean? But don't hang on it too hard. You guys be all right in there, man. That's in the past. That's in the past. Right. Next game.
This is weird work, bro.
Diabolical.
It's diabolical. You can't make this stuff up, man.
Shout out to the illest word in the boxing space this year. Might be word of the year.
It's unbelievable, man. You can't make this stuff up.
Yeah. I mean, it is what it is. I couldn't believe, but I know what y'all gonna do with it though. But it's all good. Y'all gonna take that little video and y'all gonna go all over the place with it and be like, now you're gonna tell me that Tank ain't want that fight? That Shakur's the one who wanted to fight and Tank ain't want that fight? Well, Leonard Ellerby said, and then Eddie Hearn said, so who's the duck now? You the duck, bro. That's who the duck is.
Right. It is.
You the duck now, bro. That's who it is. That it is. It's a great one. Shakur don't want Tank yet until he make a couple more quick millions. If he get KO'd by Tank, his stock plummets. So why not take 2 fights before Tank and make over 10 million? I mean, I guess that's one way to look at it. You know what I mean? But great one 765. Does this not benefit Tank for Shakur to build up his value in the market? Is this exclusively something that benefits Shakur and doesn't benefit Tank? Does it not? Does it benefit Tank? Yes or no? Because that whole thing you said right there, I mean, I could rock with that, but I didn't hear nothing in there that helps Tank out. Why would Tank be okay with this fight not happening right now? Wouldn't it benefit him for Shakur to build up his market value? If the fight is making money, does not Tank make money? Tank gonna make his money no matter who he fight. What are you talking about, great one? Great one. What are you talking about? Did you hear what I said? I said if Shakur Stevenson builds his brand up and it makes the fight, the market value of the fight go up, does Tank not benefit from that? Who said Tank is not going to make money with anybody else? I'm specifically talking about a fight between Tank and Shakur Stevenson and what is affecting the timing. Why would Leonard Ellaby say and the timing has to be right for the fight? Is he saying that to benefit Shakur Stevenson, or is he saying that to benefit his fighter in Tank Davis, bro? Is he speaking and representing and promoting Shakur, or is he more concerned about Tank Davis's interest in that fight? That's what he said. Why would you answer me with that nonsense? Tank gonna make his money no matter who he fight. That's not answering the question, brother.
They can't answer the question.
I think Tank wants to fight. That's not what the question is, brother. Listen to me clearly. Give me an opportunity. Open your ears and give me a chance. Let me in. If Shakur Stevenson builds his market value, does that help the fight with Tank Davis and Shakur Stevenson sell more? And if it sells more, does that benefit Tank Davis? I'm not being emotions. I'm speaking so you can hear me. You can answer the question, though. I apologize. I don't mean to be emotional. Can you answer the question? Thank you, great one. There you go. Exactly. Both parties stand to benefit. Both parties stand to benefit from the market value of this fight being pushed up. So we can't sit here and say Shakur Stevenson is moving a certain way to just benefit himself. He's also moving in a certain way to benefit this fight. He's moving in a certain way that's going to benefit the value of this fight. That's why Leonard Ellaby's okay with it. That's why you're not hearing Tank calling him out. That's why it's moving the way that it's moving.
Yeah, it's pretty cut and dry. I mean, to hear what Leonard Ellaby said and to try to make it something other than what it is ridiculous. We heard Leonard Ellaby clearly say Tank Davis wants to fight Shakur Stevenson. He wants to fight. He wants to fight Shakur Stevenson. But it's not time yet. There's a time and place. The timing is not right. So that's coming from Leonard Ellaby, as they always tell you. Tank is going to fight who he wants to fight, when he wants to fight him, and where he wants to fight him.
Period.
And what they always say behind that, Clay, Tank will let you know.
Period.
Right? And he said, but it has to be the right time. So how did y'all get from that? Or anybody get from what Leonard just said, that Shakur Stevenson is ducking Tank Davis? Make this make sense. It makes zero sense to try to make this a Shakur Stevenson thing. He just said that Tank is not ready for this fight.
100%. This and shout out D-Boy Dev. I know what you're saying. Salute to you, my G. But I don't even take it like that, because I want to be more honest about it and say that it's not Tank is not ready. It's not Shakur's not ready. It's that this fight is not ready. The fight has not been properly prepared. The rollout is not ready. The money that could be made for this fight is going to take a lot more marketing, a lot more strategy to make it as big as it can be. You can already tell that they're giving this fight a lot of value. Tank's team, the PBC, anybody who has vested interest in this fight making as much money as it can make, they want this to be the right way. They don't want to waste the opportunity. They looking at this as the money fight in comparison to all the fights that they have on that list. You can tell that. You can tell that they're treating this fight with white gloves, that's why this fight isn't just happening that way. It's not about Shakur Stevenson not making this fight happen, the B side to the conversation, not making the fight happen. And I also hear the arguments of you can't make nobody fight. Bro, that y'all got to stop, bro. Okay, fine. Yes, there's legitimacy to what you're saying, but I don't believe it applies to this situation, because Tank has not made an offer to Shakur that Shakur's turned away. So this is not about Shakur not wanting to fight. You don't know that because he hasn't received an offer for the fight to happen. Now you have an interaction with Leonard Ellaby and Eddie Hearns on camera, speaking with each other, embracing each other at the end of the conversation, speaking exclusively to this fight, what it's going to take to make this fight happen, how this fight has to happen no matter what, confirming from Leonard Ellerbe that Tank Davis wants this fight, confirming from Eddie Hearn his intention to make this fight after the 2-fight deal with Shakur is up. This destroys so many arguments, but we want to still act like we're going to watch a video like that showed all those things that I just said and say, oh, wow, you know what? I walked away from it. I knew it. Shakur is ducking Tank. There's no practical, critical thinking getting put behind a statement like that, looking at a video like that to say that what you pull from it is Shakur is ducking Tank, bro. It doesn't make no sense. It doesn't make no sense to sit here and say that man is ducking when you have both people on screen talking about this fight being made at the right time, talking about Tank wants this fight, Eddie Hearn, the argument about Eddie Hearn not wanting to put this fight together. He battled that, saying that he wants that fight to happen after these 2 fights. He put the reasoning behind it, saying that that Shakur is going to be building up his brand by having these 2 fights between Cordina and Zepeda, and that's going to make it an even bigger fight. All these things came out in that conversation, and you walk away with, there it is, I knew it, Shakur's ducking Tank. Come on, bro. That don't make no sense. That's irresponsible, bro. That's manipulating the whole entire narrative on purpose. That's the stuff that makes it look like you're getting a check, like you're doing it for some reason, that you're pushing some sort of narrative. That's what makes it look like that, because to walk away with that, look, it's a free country. You're free to feel how you want to feel. But to say that from that video clip that we watched right there, brother, it's a reach. It's a reach. It's a way reach. And on a low, it looked like a reach around. It looked like somebody getting a reach around. You know what I'm saying? Pause. You know what I'm saying? It looked like somebody's getting a reach around when something like that gets pushed, when a narrative like that gets pushed from that kind of interaction. What I got from that interaction is Shakur Stevenson being with Eddie Hearn does not stall this fight up at all. Shakur Stevenson fighting in Riyadh and fighting William Zepeda and Joe Cordina does not stop this fight from happening. The one thing it shows me is that Tank Davis wants this fight no matter what. That Tank Davis is not looking at the way Shakur Stevenson is moving as a reason as to why this fight is not going to happen. Everybody needs to put those fears to bed. The idea that Shakur is running away and not trying to make this fight happen. The only person who didn't speak, the only 2 people who didn't speak in that conversation is Shakur Stevenson and Tank Davis. And Eddie Hearn is officially a representative of Shakur Stevenson's interest. And we already know Leonard Ellerbe represent Tank's. So shout out to the ice cream man, right on time. My God, I
was trying to avoid it, but I'm on here trying to talk to YouTube because what they doing is nasty work, man.
Yeah. I'm telling you, it looks like you need to put those like early,
bro. Like, they sent me a message talking about I have minus 100 subscribers. It's crazy.
Yeah,
but go ahead, keep cooking.
No doubt.
The ice cream man leave.
Salute, well connected. What's good, family? What's good, Race Pacer? With this debate, it really builds the fight more. 100%. HW, what's good, Blue? Salute HW. Let's see here. Blaze, think about it like this. Tank is 29 and Shakur is 26. Mayweather versus Pacquiao happened when they were in their mid-30s, years after the fans wanted this fight, and it still made the most. 100%, Blaze. 100%. Yeah, boy. Let me see. Oh, yeah. Okay, D-boy. Yeah, that's your point. No doubt, family. Meanwhile, keep paying your hard-earned dollars on these lame fights. Same story. They said with Dev, now we're never going to see that fight. I guess that's one way to look at it, Blade Brown. I guess that's one way to look at it. Shakur been booed in his last 2 fights because he don't got that dog in him. Only casuals think he could beat Tank. KK, we don't agree. Okay? We'll just leave it at that. I don't want to make this about me and you and you know what I'm saying? And we getting into it, but we definitely don't agree, brother, because I think the hardcore boxing fans understand how competitive this fight is probably going to be. And the casuals are the one who stuck seeing Tank knock everybody out, don't think Shakur got no chance of winning this fight. I actually think what you said is literally the opposite way. Literally the opposite way. But, you know, we can disagree. We can agree to disagree, brother. I appreciate you engaging in the chat. I appreciate that. Let me see here. You don't send me an offer, I send you a contract, player. There we go. What's going on here? HW, I've had a bunch of posts on Facebook saying Loma retired. Haven't seen it anywhere else though. Yeah. Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah, but look, guys, at the end of the day, that video was an interesting video. I walked away from that video excited and happy. I thought it was great to see Leonard Ellaby and Eddie Hearn in the same page. I love that Leonard Ellaby let it be known that it was just competition. It just is what it is, smiling. That let me know that Leonard Ellaby and Eddie Hearn are speaking and speaking business. And them two talking business is a great thing for anybody who wants to see a Shakur Stevenson fight a Tank Davis. Them two sitting in the same room, building on how we can make the most money possible. That's a beautiful thing. Shout out to Leonard Ellerby. Shout out to Eddie Hearns for showing the whole entire boxing space how two grown, mature businessmen can put their issues to the side and make big business moves, man. That's the way it's supposed to be, man. No hostility, nothing but love. We both trying to get the same thing, which is to a bag. Shout out to both our fighters. Leonard Ellaby wasn't shy about expressing how Shakur had no chance of beating Tank and how Tank was going to knock him out every time. Shout out to Leonard Ellaby for being a number one promoter for Tank, doing his job, earning his paycheck over there at GTD Promotions, especially now that he's not with Mayweather Promotions. Shout out to Leonard Ellaby for doing his job. That's a stand-up guy right there. And shout out to Eddie Hearns, who quickly waited for Leonard Ellaby to finish speaking to say, I disagree, brother. I think Shakur Stevens going to do the work. I think you about to see. And then he told Leonard Ellaby, and you know we putting a bag on it, right? And you know we putting a bag on it, right? Shout out to Eddie Hearn for putting his money where his mouth is. I can't wait for this fight to get put together. Aren't you excited, guys? You ain't excited? You got to be a hater if you ain't excited about that. You know what I mean? I know a lot of you would like to think that this fight can't happen because Shakur went on to the other side and he ruined it. But the real guys know what's up. Let me see. Race Face said, what you think, Claymore? Let me see. I think Tank will fight Devin before Shakur gets his shot because Devin is a bigger draw.
But this is the thing, right? This is the thing that gets me, right? Is that people continue to say, like, shouts out to Fat and Bankrupt. Shout out to everybody in the building. I saw the Queen. She said the fight need to be built up. Tank has reached pretty much his max of building up. There's no more building up for Gervonta Tank Davis. And Shakur Stevenson is who he is. What are you going to wait? You waiting for Shakur to suddenly get knockouts? Or what are you waiting for him to fight a marquee name? Because clearly he can't get a marquee name in the ring. So build up how? So get this, Clay. Let's just use common sense now. Y'all say that Shakur is cherry picking Cordina. How is that building up a Tank fight? And when he beats Williams Zepeda, should he fight and beat Williams Zepeda, right? How is that going to build up a Tank fight? This is not making any sense. You guys are looking for, so this is what happens, is that people start to look for, but Hearn can't build up Shakur to do anything. He can't. Eddie Hearn can't build up Shakur to do anything because Shakur is who he is. He's not going to suddenly become a knockout artist. He's a boxer. That's who he is. In the second half of Floyd's career, the second career, Money Mayweather, he was not a knockout artist. He's not going to become a knockout artist. The whole point is putting two guys together with a big name. So Shakur beating Williams Zepeda, only thing people going to turn around and say is that Williams Zepeda never beat nobody. And he's a certain style of a fighter, like he's a flat-footed, come forward, specific type of fighter that Shakur can pick apart. And he's not a power puncher like Edwin De Los Santos. The people are going to pick and choose. So there is no way, unless Shakur can fight Ryan Garcia or Devin Haney, right? Who is he going to fight? He can't get Isaac Cruz in the ring. So how are we building up a fight? How building up to what? There is no building up because Tank is maxed out until he gets another big name across from him. The proof is in the pudding. We've seen that from the Ryan Garcia fight to the Frank Martin fight, right? So he's gotten to the point where his superstardom hit the ceiling until he brings in another superstar across the ring from him. That's going to build up the fight. That's going to build up Gervonta Tank Davis. Right? If you put Tank Davis in there with Ryo, that's not going to build. He's not. Him and Ryo is a great fight, in my opinion. I like the fight. Me personally, I like the fight.
Yeah, me too.
But it's not going to elevate him to the next level. Because people already started to talk about how this is a cherry pick and so on and so forth. I saw people saying he's better off fighting Floyd Schofield, right? People was complaining, right? So again, him beating Ryo is not going to elevate anything. So unless they fight each other, there is no more building. Unless Shakur can't get Loma in the ring. He can't get Isaac Cruz in the ring. He can't get anybody in the ring. Hell, he could barely get Williams Zepeda in the ring.
Mm.
So what are we talking about?
Mm. Mm.
It just makes no sense.
So you don't think that Shakur building up himself is helping the fight get bigger?
He's not getting the opponents to build up his brand, right? Because you look at it, Cordina's going to do nothing for him. Once he beats Zepeda, and I believe he will, right?
Mm.
Again, that's not going to do anything for him because there's always going to be a narrative. There's always going to be a narrative surrounding Shakur until he beats a name that people respect.
Right.
If he gets an Isaac Cruz in the ring, that will build it up. If he fight and beat Isaac Cruz, that'll build it up, right? Or Lomachenko, or Devin Haney, right? Or Ryan Garcia.
Mm.
But right now, again, right, Clay? This is something that we're not taking into consideration because myself, yourself, Ray Davis, and the brothers here, the 95% of the people in the chat are hardcore boxing fans, right? We have a hardcore boxing fan chat, right?
Mm.
So we know who Williams Zepeda is, Clay.
Right.
These people that are masquerading as boxing fans,
right?
They don't know who Williams Zepeda is.
Yeah,
they probably didn't watch him fight. They didn't watch Williams Zepeda fight. They don't know who he is.
Right.
They probably go to Box Rec and look at his record. He got a magnificent resume. They don't know who he beat. Right. So Shakur fights and beats Williams Zepeda. Again, Williams Zepeda hasn't won a title. You understand? Like it's gonna do good for me and you.
Right.
And the 95% of these fans in our chat, our family here. Because they know who Williams Zepeda is because we watch boxing. We have a different set of audience. We don't have a casual audience for entertainment. They're here because they love boxing. Myself, your audience, and the people here that when we come together, our audience here is hardcore boxing fans. Even the Tank Davis casuals.
Right.
They know what they're doing. They just trolling because they're super fans.
Right.
You understand? So that's the difference. They don't know who Williams Zepeda is. So once he beat Williams Zepeda, it's not going to elevate him.
Right.
Right. Okay. To give you an example, you see how quickly everybody dismisses Yoshino.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know Yoshino had one of the biggest wins of his career.
Right.
Because they don't watch him. So all they know is, man, who is Yoshino? Who did Yoshino beat? They don't know. So Yoshino gets swept under the rug.
100%. A cherry pick damn near, right? You might as well be a cherry pick.
It goes like this, right, Clay? when you look at, and I'm going to use this example because it's people can identify. So just to clarify to the people, when people say you bringing up Floyd Mayweather, I use Floyd Mayweather because you can identify with Floyd Mayweather. The mass majority of the people can identify. So I use him as an example because you can identify with Floyd Mayweather. That's why. So when you bring up Floyd Mayweather's career, Clay, and you bring up his resume, how many people you know point to Carlos Balderman as a winner? Nobody. Because the only reason they know Carlos Balderman is for beating Zab Judah, and they feel like he got lucky.
Right.
So they don't know nothing about Carlos Balderman. So Carlos Balderman gets swept under the rug for Floyd Mayweather. How easy he disposed and dispatched of Carlos Balderman gets completely overlooked because most people don't know who Carlos Balderman was outside of the Zab Judah fight.
Right.
And that's going to be the same thing for Shakur. He beats Williams Zepeda. Because if you really think about this and take this into consideration, right, Clay? And I'm going to ask you this, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you put Williams Zepeda in the ring with Isaac Cruz, I'm favoring Zepeda.
100%.
Right?
But everybody going to favor Isak because that's the name they know. They're not going to even give Zepeda a chance.
Exactly.
They're gonna say it's a big upset when he pieces him up. They're gonna be like, man, who'd have expected that? And people like me are gonna be looking at him like, why did you expect something else? You know what else I say? That's very similar to the Liam Paro Subriel Matias fight. Everybody was like, yo, Liam Paro just came out of nowhere and just did that to Subriel Matias, the boogeyman of the 140-pound weight class division.
Right. Exactly. It goes like this, right, Clay? Right now, if Shakur beats Williams Zepeda, and me and you say he beat Zepeda, that's a better win than Isaac Cruz, they're gonna say we hating on Tank. Because they don't know nothing about Zepeda.
Right.
It's just like this, right? I had people right now saying, man, Ryo is a cherry pig. How's it? Ryo was a blue chip prospect, number one. Right? On top of Ryo being a blue chip prospect, Ryo let's not forget, he blasted Edwin De Los Santos and dropped him.
Right.
And then made the mistake of trying to close the show when Edwin wasn't ready to go and got caught himself and never recovered.
Yep.
Then he beat Colbert, in my opinion, the first fight.
100%.
And then he made sure he closed the show in the second one and then beat Isaac Cruz easy.
Yep.
But they'll tell you that, to me, not named Leo Santa Cruz, who's more accomplished, who's a better fighter that Tank could fight? This will be the second best fight. This is the second best fight on his resume, in my opinion.
I got to look at it, but because you got Pedraza was a big one, you got Leo, that was a big one.
Leo, that's what I said. Leo's the most accomplished.
Yeah, Leo's the most accomplished, for sure.
Right.
You think Ryo?
You can say Gamboa,
even though the Gamboa
but that Gamboa, I got Ryo beating him.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That Gamboa wasn't the Gamboa of all Gamboas. That wasn't the dog. Let me see. Yeah, bro. I'll put him at 2 or 3 because I'm gonna have Pedraza in there for sure. That Pedraza that Tank fought, Tank actually went in there as an underdog to a lot of people. A lot of people thought that he was an underdog in that fight, and then you got to give him to Leo Santa Cruz. He wasn't the underdog to that fight, but he's the most accomplished.
And that's what I'm saying. So you look at do me a favor. So he's a way better boxer, more accomplished, and more well-rounded than Rolly. He just beat Isaac Cruz easy. He beat him easier than Tank beat him. And we know Tank was injured and so on and so forth, but Tank had a tougher fight with Isaac Cruz than Ryo did by far.
Yeah. Rolly takes away every fight he does. He takes away the value of that fight with Tank because it just looks like he's just super. Every fight he has, takes away from, like Isak went and did great things and became who he was. That added to Tank. But Rolly's just like every fight is just like, bro, you just got free money on that one, didn't you? Let's be honest.
Right. So Frank Martin, good fighter.
Mm-hmm. But now, not ready. Not ready.
But his style, Frank Martin would be a problem for Ryo. Who you favor in that fight?
I ain't gonna lie, I'm gonna have to go with Frank. I'm gonna lean with Frank. I think Frank is just crispier and more, this like his jab and the way he moves. Ryo would have to outbox Frank, and I don't know if he does that. I would have to lean towards Frank Martin, and he got that power to make everything even better. At the end of the day, I go with Frank Martin. I'll go with Frank.
And that's what's for skill, but accomplishment. Ryo's more accomplished and got better wins.
He is. He's a more accomplished fighter.
He beat Chris Colbert. He beat Isaac Cruz. This is better wins.
Right.
Only one Fame said he loves. He said Tank resume is. What he said?
Hardest fight was Joet Gonzalez, the man who beat him 3 times and dropped him multiple times.
Only one
Tank's hardest fight.
Me Tank resume fake trash. Like when you gonna fight. I don't say Tank resume is trash at all. What happens with Tank is this, right? When you get into a position of power like Tank and the status that Tank has developed, then you expect more. The expectations are higher. And so when the expectations, to give you an example, yes. Yeah, that's it. Thank you. To give you an example, when again, I'm using Floyd as an example. Please don't say you comparing. I'm not comparing. I'm just using it as an example. When Floyd beat Robert Guerrero, who was 31 wins with only 1 loss, or when he beat Andre Berto, right, or when he beat, like I said, Carlos Bolderman, right, those types of wins get overshadowed by his status. Because the expectations of Floyd is because he's so high he's so high on the
when did Tank fight Joet Gonzalez?
Huh?
Sorry,
Tank didn't fight Joe. I get that.
I think
him in the amateurs.
Oh, in the amateurs? Okay.
Yeah, they're talking about so when I had Wally on, he was saying how Tank lost to Joet Gonzalez in the amateurs. And he was saying how Shakur dominated. He was using the comparison.
Okay.
So that's where that came from. Tank fought Joet in the amateurs and lost. And Shakur fought him in the pros.
And
you know what I mean?
Right.
And beat him. Right.
But it was a disqualification loss, right? With Joet.
I don't remember. But I can't even, because he sent it to me. I watched like 2 minutes of it, then I didn't get to finish watching.
Oh no, they fought 3 times, I guess. I'm looking at the amateur. Yeah, they fought 3 times. He lost on points the first time. The second time he lost by disqualification. The third time he won by points.
Tank won by points?
Yeah, the third time. Yep.
Oh, so Tank is they won in one? They won 1-1?
One. Well, the disqualification, right? So I don't know if that counts as a loss. I would say that was a loss too, right? So if anything, Joel's up on him 2-1. If you count the disqualification. I don't know why they got disqualified. I'm looking right now to see why the disqualification was there.
Rich Porter said they fought 4 times.
Oh, I only see 3 right here. So, okay. Maybe I'm missing one. Let me see. 1.
Shadow Angel said, why are you so obsessed with Tank? Why are you so obsessed with Tank is the question. That's the question. This is my job. Why are you so obsessed with him? Is it your job?
Right. Isn't Tank the face of boxing? Shouldn't we be talking about Tank? Isn't Tank the face of boxing? Should we not be talking about Tank? Should we not? I don't understand. What does that mean?
He said, just because you from see, this is what I like to say, right, Clay? Rich Porter, my brother in the super chat, dropping that Cinco on us in the super chat. Tank hardest fight Joel Gonzalez, the man who beat him 3 times and dropped him multiple times. I got to watch that. I didn't see that.
Me neither.
This dude said, plus I'm from Baltimore. See, that's the problem right there.
That makes him authority in the conversation.
Right. So you feel this sense of what's the word I'm looking for? You feel a sense of authority or a sense of ownership because he's from Baltimore,
right?
And you're from Baltimore, so you have this attachment, right? There's always an attachment, right? You probably never met this man, don't know nothing about him outside of he's from Baltimore. It's like they have this sense of ownership, like because he's from Baltimore. Like every fighter from New York, I have this sense of ownership because I'm from New York and you're from New York, and so he's a part of me because he's from New York. What are you talking about? Shadow Angel said you are very biased. How about we can send you the link and you come tell us how we're biased? Now, I guarantee you won't click that link. And come tell us.
He's the only complete fighter. What is it?
He's the only complete. That's the fanism.
Yeah, man. It's just, I don't know what to say to that. I mean, I mean, I don't know what to say to that, bro. I don't know. Right. I'll stay out of that. You guys got to stop with that nonsense, bro. You got to stop with it. It don't make no sense. It don't got to be like that, man. It don't got to be like that, bro. I mean, look, they're going to fight. They're going to fight. Styles make fights. Clearly Tank wants to fight. And that's why I honestly resort back to what Tank wants. And I don't really consider anything anybody else says because I don't even know how to respond to it. Yeah, Teddy Atlas said it, so I guess it makes
right. He said he's right. This is what he said. Here we go.
Show your Blue. Face. Blue, why you always sucking on 78's cock, you fucking gay motherfucker? Get off 78's nuts, motherfucker. Get off his fucking nuts, motherfucker.
Okay, well, you don't even sound like you from Baltimore.
You sucking a morbidly obese fucking general's fucking cock off, you fucking loser.
Okay, let me ask you this question though. That sounds good, but let me ask you this question, right? You said you from Baltimore, didn't you?
Pull his dick out of your mouth, pussy.
Right. That sounds good. Guess what? That doesn't bother me. I'm a real man. So let me ask you. Let's have a real conversation.
Stop sucking up.
That's not. He said that's not me. He said that's not me. That's not Shadow Angel.
Oh. See, this is impossible. He made up Shadow. Hold on, Shadow Angel.
He said send the link. I'm here. Send the link.
Hold on, man. You got trolls trolling the. You got trolls trolling the people in the chat. Bro, come on.
Send him the link.
Man.
Send the link. He said, I'm here. Send the link.
The link is in the chat, bro.
I'm like, yo, this was confusing. When he came out, I was like, damn, bro. Wait.
But that's what I said. He from the UK. He ain't from Baltimore.
I'm like, yo, this is crazy,
Shadow Angel,
bro.
You got Shadow Angel. Shadow Angel.
Yeah, I just threw the link back up in there if you want to grab it.
But Clay, how he make a account from Shadow Angel that quick?
Oh, they professionals. They know how to do this, man. They know how to do this, bro.
We having a chat with Shadow Angel, and he just made up
There's a link. I just put the link up right there.
Hey, man, you can't make this stuff up, man.
Shadow, I just put the link right there. Oh, unless that's not you, bro. Unless you're playing games.
Hey, I don't know, man. It's Saint Holder Christian. What's up, family?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Hey, can you tell that guy stop with all that gay stuff? He messing up y'all good. Y'all good. Y'all got a real podcast, and he messing it up.
Right. He. You see, that doesn't bother me at all whatsoever.
Yeah, you see that.
But I want to hear you guys.
Yeah, but that's what happens here. He's talking about. He came here to talk about a whole another grown man.
It don't even sound like he's from Baltimore. It sound like he's from the UK.
He's from the UK. He's from the UK talking about 7-8. Bro, why are you concerned? You live in the UK. Why you come? Just think about it. This is the place and the space that we are in society today. This man is clearly from the UK. He's concerned with 7-8, but he's on my channel. Make sense.
I know.
What do you have going on in life that you decide that you want to? We talking about boxing, but social media has given people that have absolutely nothing going on for themselves. It has given them a space.
So who do they want Tank to fight if nobody won't fight him?
No, they don't care who Tank fight. They don't care.
But we don't want no crappy fight. We want a good. I mean, you got Lily, Low.
They don't care who, as long as they see him fight. And again, let me say this, right? And I can say this. I understand that to a degree, but you cannot blame. To give you an example of what I'm saying, right? I'm a 49er fan. I really don't care who the 49ers play. As a 49 fan, I literally just came back from San Francisco. Literally, right?
Okay.
And I don't care who they play, but I won't push a narrative on nobody else. You understand what I'm saying?
I agree 100%.
And that's where the water gets muddy. Because now, in order to, Floyd Mayweather always says this, right? He always bigs up his opponent because it makes his win that much more credible.
Yeah.
But they want to tear down everybody else to put Tank on a pedestal, and then they have no sense of adios delita mañana. They have no sense of they have no sense of common sense, right? It's all this, and they all delusional.
Yeah, you're right. But see, you speaking from wisdom. That guy, when they talk like that, they don't have wisdom.
Right. Yeah, he's just a troll. He has nothing else. He just had nothing else. See, that's the thing about sending out phone calls and links. You don't know who's on the other side of it. You don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna get on the other side. You know what I mean?
Well,
so he that quickly he made up Shadow Angel's name that quickly.
Well,
I mean, we wasn't even talking to Shadow Angel for a whole minute. He made up a whole account as Shadow Angel and came here just to troll as a whole nother person in the chat.
Yeah, it caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting it. I was sitting there like, this. I don't know who Shadow Angel is, but this is, I don't know.
Tank will fight TLC on that?
No. Remember, T.O., and this is okay, and I'm glad you said that, right? And then I'm gonna have to get to the other people, but I'm glad you said that, right? Because here's the thing, right? Tank said T.O. is not on my list of fighters, and we don't even mention him against T.O., and that's okay.
Right.
But he also said he wanted one more fight before the end of this year.
Huh?
He
gonna fight. He gonna fight Ryo before the year is up. But the thing is, Tank says I don't want to fight. T.O. is not on my list. He don't interest me. Like, that's not a big fight, and the fans is okay with that. Okay. Don't mention T.O. Don't think about T.O. Nothing. Like, T.O. is not. Imagine that. Just to put this in an example with other sports, right? Imagine LeBron saying, "Hey, bro, yeah, I really don't want to play against Kevin Durant. He ain't on my list, but everybody else, they on my list." And fans be like, "Okay, yeah, well, he ain't gonna play Kevin Durant." Just imagine that in other sports. Don't that sound crazy?
Yeah,
it wouldn't happen.
I agree.
That just it sounds bizarre, but in boxing, that's okay. Like, how is T.O. not on the list? But Loma, just think about this. How is Loma on the list but not T.O.? No, Shadow Angel, come back. I'm about to bring you on right now, bro. Come back. I just seen you pop up. You was under the everybody else, bro. But yeah, Saint Holder, just think about that, right?
Yeah.
Imagine that, right? T.O. beats Lomachenko. Lomachenko's still on the list, but not T.O.
Right. That's why I thought T.O. was on the list.
Right, but check this out. To make it gets even worse. But Isaac Cruz He said he didn't want to rematch Isaac Cruz, but then he was gonna rematch Isaac Cruz. But now, since Isaac Cruz lost, he's gonna fight the guy who beat Isaac Cruz. But Rayo wasn't on the list. So why are we demanding T.O. be on the list? You see you see what I'm saying? Like, it just doesn't make sense.
That's why I'm asking you the question, because it don't make sense to me either.
Right. But so that's why the Rayo fight, I'm all for it. I'm all for, you know, it to me, like I said, the only issue I had with the Shakur Stevenson situation was simply that people started to create a narrative that it's all Shakur Stevenson fault. That's where I'm like, wait a minute, bro. How is it Shakur Stevenson fault?
It's nobody's fault. Don't you see what Al Haney doing? He building that fight up the same way he did Pacquiao and Mayweather. So when they do fight, they can get 100, 200 million.
Yeah, but that's the thing about Shakur and Tank, is that that's almost impossible to do.
You're right,
because the level of competition for them to fight against. To give you an example, when we started building up Floyd and Pacquiao, right, it was able to marinate because they was already first ballot Hall of Famers before we started talking about. Before Manny beat Oscar, he was already a Hall of Famer. He beat Barrera, Morales, and Marquez.
Mm-hmm.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? So he was already a Hall of Famer. He was already well on his way to being a Hall of Famer. He just elevated his legend.
So is Tank and Shakur. They already got multiple belts and undefeated.
Yeah, but they haven't beaten. Pacquiao beat 3 first ballot Hall of Famers. Neither one of them beat anybody on that level.
You're right.
Floyd beat Gennaro Hernandez. He beat Zab. He beat Diego Corrales. He beat Cotto. He beat Canelo. He beat Madonna twice. He beat Ricky Hatton. He beat Oscar.
You're right.
This is who they beat before, while we was building them up. They was already legends without each other. The legend of them, two of them, just grew.
You're 100% right.
Right now, Shakur he can't get nobody in the ring, and Tank don't want to choose these dudes. So we can't. This is how we build it up. Now, let me say this. Let me correct myself, because I misspoke. I just said Tank don't want to choose these dudes. I misspoke, because Tank just chose to fight Lomachenko, and Lomachenko ducked out.
Right.
Did you see the 3 Andre podcasts when all 3, Andre Ward, Andre Berto, and Andre Burrell, they all 3 said that Shakur wasn't ready now?
Yeah, but again, that's their personal. Andre Ward didn't say that.
All 3 of them said it.
Andre Durrell said that.
And if Andre Ward did say that, he wasn't speaking towards the skill set.
No, he wasn't speaking. You're right. He wasn't speaking towards the skill set. He was saying that let the fight gain some more momentum to have more money on the table.
Right. But the problem with that is, again, and I would disagree with them, right? Because the problem with that is, who are they going to fight? They don't have so that sounds good if you have the necessary opponents willing to engage to fight them, to build it up.
Yeah, you're right.
If Shakur fights Cordina and Zepeda, that's not building him up to do anything, because unless he knocks out both of them brutally and suddenly becomes a knockout artist, he's going to be who he is. So him beating Zepeda like he beat, let's say he beat Zepeda like he beat Yoshino, is people really going to give him credit to elevate him to the next level? No, they're not.
No, they're not. And that's the type of fight it's going to be, because Shakur not going to engage and nobody can hit.
And then think about this. Isaac Cruz just got outclassed by Edwin El Rayo, and we believe Shakur is a better boxer than El Rayo. So is it going to be surprising if he outclassed Isaac Cruz now? No. Is that going to elevate him?
Shakur is a better fighter than Rayo.
Yeah, no, but what I'm saying is, we just seen El Rayo outclass Isaac Cruz.
You're right.
So to see Shakur do it is not a surprise. So is that going to elevate it? No. Because we just see Rayo do it. On top of that, Tank already beat him.
But what is Shakur supposed to do? He got to make money.
That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. There is nothing for them to do except fight each other. There's no road to building them up. So, like I said, the thing that can make it more interesting and more intriguing is if Tank collect the other belts, and by the time they fight for undisputed. That would make it more interesting. You see what I'm saying?
Right, but who can he fight?
That's the problem. Again, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying about what Andre Ward and what they said on the platform. Because if you don't have the fighters willing to engage, how are you building something?
That's what I put in the chat at the very beginning.
They can't build on something. That's why I said they just need to go ahead and fight. If Lomachenko ain't gonna fight Tank, he ain't gonna fight Shakur. Then what are we doing? What are we waiting for? If the other pieces,
but Loma, he said he'll fight Shakur.
No, Loma said that about Tank too. But
yeah,
that's what
you're right. They do say it to the contract,
right? Until it's time to actually do it, and then he don't want to fight.
You're right. Then he gotta be with the family, and he don't have no interest.
Right. So we can't get Dennis Baranchik. What happened with him? Like, you understand what I'm saying? Like, it's just a bunch of moving pieces, and nobody's fighting each other. Nothing is solid. And so
you don't think that eyes being on Shakur Stevenson on the biggest stage possible that he can get on, as far as Riyadh season, as far as whatever money, and we're talking about the marketing that Turkey Al-Sheikh is. If you look at like the trailer he's building for this Dubois Anthony Joshua fight, you look at the trailer he put behind the 5-on-5 or the KO Chaos, whatever it was called. That type of marketing getting put behind a Shakur Stevenson for 2 fights, where he has an opportunity, and we don't know what he's going to do, but he has an opportunity to showcase exciting part of his arsenal. He gets to really show out and give people an idea, because if people are watching him right now, they're looking at him right now, and they're trying to think of what him and Gervonta Tank Davis is going to look like in the ring together. You don't think
they're looking at him on free TV? They're not looking at him on pay-per-view.
It don't matter what he looking at, whether it's pay-per-view or free TV. It's more so stylistically giving people an opportunity to see what a Shakur Stevenson and a Tank Davis fight could look like. To say, you know what, the way he moves and the way he's fighting right here, I'm interested in seeing what that looks like in front of a Tank Davis. Or I'm looking to see what that looks like for Tank to knock out Shakur Stevenson. Even if you want to look at it that way, that it doesn't take away from the fight no matter what. It only gives an opportunity for Shakur Stevenson to build his market value up for however that looks, to give that fight the best opportunity to be the biggest fight it could possibly be.
Right, I agree with you on that, but how can he build up if he not? I mean, you can't keep fighting on free TV and think you go build up on paid TV.
Well, it's not going to be free. It's going to be on pay-per-view. It's just going to be a considerably lower amount as far as the money's getting spent. But at the end of the day, Shakur Stevenson is going to be exposed to a complete different demographic and audience for these 2 fights. He's not going to be this is not about his market value in America, this campaign, these 2 fights. This is about his market value on an international level. This is about the world seeing Shakur Stevenson. This is about, because on the state side, Shakur Stevenson's already built a reputation for himself, which quite frankly probably isn't the best reputation as far as giving you the best fights. But putting him on
his own hometown and walked out.
Right. So so he doesn't need to try to get his market value up over here anymore. It is what it is over here. But the whole world watches boxing. The whole world, you know what I'm saying, watches pay-per-view. The whole world does. So giving him an opportunity to put a Riyadh season type of marketing strategy behind him, which is a unique marketing strategy, right? They really go all out for the marketing and pushing these fights and pushing these fighters. They do extreme things to market these fighters. Giving him an opportunity to reap the benefits from that type of marketing strategy gives the fight an opportunity to be as big as it can be.
That was well said. That was well said and make 100%.
Yeah, but the problem with that is that you got to cater to that audience. And once he leaves to fight Tank, because he ain't going to fight Tank, and Tank ain't going to fight him on that platform. So once he leaves that platform and goes to PBC Amazon Prime model, right? It ain't the same audience.
You don't think that audience is going to watch Tank Davis fight or watches Tank Davis? You don't think
they're going to watch Tank Davis fight, but it's not going to necessarily build up Shakur. For instance, to give you an example, right? Daniel Dubois has been put in a great position multiple times on that format. Right now, his here in the stateside, where it's the most important, no disrespect to nobody else, his stock didn't go up. It didn't go up.
I don't know. I know. I don't believe it's going to hurt him.
No, it's not going to hurt him.
So,
but it's not.
It's like give it a shot. See what happens.
It ain't going to hurt him.
See the fight in 2025. You all think?
No, it's not going to hurt his stock, but it's not going to elevate it. It's going to keep it. It's going to plateau.
Do you think we're going to see the fight in 2025?
I should hope so.
I think so.
Okay, I hope so too.
Yes, sir.
If it ain't
I appreciate
2025, I don't want to see him fight.
Yeah, I'm with you. Saint Holder, I appreciate you, great brother. Let me get the Shadow Angel.
OG.
Okay, I appreciate y'all. Keep doing good work.
Appreciate you, great brother.
Yeah, you too, brother. Thank you. Hold on. OG Tariq from Philly. Salute Blue. Claymore was good. No boxer really ducks each other. Y'all think Tank is scared or Shakur is scared? Y'all got shit twisted? I don't know.
Yeah, no, we don't think that they.
I don't think no fighter is scared neither. I don't believe that. But first of all, how y'all guys doing? I appreciate y'all having me on. It's all love, man. We just talking boxing.
Oh, for sure.
Peace, gang. Peace, for sure, man.
This what I believe is the plan for Eddie Hearn. What he's doing with Shakur. I think by this first fight with Eddie Hearn being on pay-per-view, he's trying to provide a case for Shakur with these next two fights that's going to be pay-per-view, that he has the numbers, or, when the Tank fight actually happened, now Shakur will have a case of pay-per-view buys in the audience. Remember, his last performance on ESPN was like 1-point-something million viewers. So he's going from listening to Eddie Hearn, this is what I'm thinking. His last statement was, when he was talking with Leonard Ellaby, was that he wants to build up Shakur, like build him up. So I believe if that fight would have been rushed November, it wouldn't have had the proper lead up for that fight of that magnitude. But I do believe that Tank will destroy Shakur. I feel like Shakur is very one-dimensional. He has a very limited offensive arsenal. Yes, he's defensive minded, but he's defensive minded without an offense. He has a very basic offense, in my opinion. And to me, when I said Tank is a complete fighter, it's not one thing he can't do. If you go back to his fights all the way from Zapata, not Zapata, what's the one he won the belt for 135? The one Keyshawn knocked out. I can't think his name right now.
Yeah, Zapata.
Yeah, Zapata. Yeah. If you go back from that fight up to now, Tank literally has fought different in each fight. He has an ability to adjust to each opponent, whereas though Shakur literally fights one way. He has no other option. We've literally seen him only fight one way with a very basic and limited offensive arsenal, whereas though Tank can do everything. Lateral. You want him to go north-south, he can fight off the back foot, he can fight pushing forward, he can fight using the exact ring, he can beat on the defense. We see him with Rolly. When he fought Rolly, to me, in my opinion, he fought Rolly and Ryan Garcia the exact same way. He allowed them to be the aggressor. Shakur doesn't have that in his arsenal, because when he fought De La Santo, everybody said he was running. If he'd have had that ability to fight off his back foot, because he don't have no offense. Now, I know I've been rambling, but I just want to hear what y'all got to say to that.
All right. No, I think that was a reasonable assessment. You know what I'm saying? I think Shakur hasn't been challenged for you to see him in different ways like you'd want to see him, right? But I think we can't deny the fact that most people who have been in the gym with Shakur, who have worked with Shakur, they all have commented. I mean, you got fighters who are saying Shakur is the best fighter in the world, right? Fighters who have seen this side of Shakur, that he has ability to adjust in multiple ways, that he's not a one-dimensional fighter. But listen, when you're successful and you're able to beat the fighters in front of you easily, and you're not being confronted with any real issues, when you watch Shakur's fights, you'll see that Shakur has never been put in a situation where he's had to adjust, or he's having issues, or he's having to come out and do something different. And the same thing for Tank to a degree. Tank, I think, has been in fights where, you know, basically he has been challenged, I think, in some ways, but he also has a lot of fun in there as well. As matchmaking plays a big part in what you see in these fighters. The matchmaking plays the biggest role in what you see from these fighters. I think it is reasonable to say that when Shakur and Tank get inside the ring with each other, that they're both going to present each other with things they haven't seen. No matter how much you think you've seen from Tank, we can't discount the fact that what's my guy's name? What's his coach again? Calvin Ford has said, listen, no matter what you guys think, if you've seen from my fighter, you ain't seen everything from my fighter, because it's going to take that right dance partner to bring that out of him. So even his own team has mentioned the fact that we still haven't seen everything Tank can do, and he's going to need that right dancing partner to give that kind of fight. And it's reasonable to argue that Shakur Stevenson checks the boxes on that, because no matter who you think you've seen Tank fight, I've not seen Tank get in the ring with a Shakur Stevenson before. I've not seen him get in the ring with somebody who I'd be like, you know what, that guy right there fights like Shakur Stevenson. So the fight just has to be played out, and we just get to see a great fight. And maybe we do see Tank dominate. But I'll tell you what, if he dominates a Shakur Stevenson, it's not going to be like, oh, we already knew that. It's going to be like, damn, now we get to speak at him on a whole nother level and understand why he's so great. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason for this fight not to happen. There's 100,000 reasons as to why this fight needs to happen.
I agree with what you're saying, but I still want to stand on what I believe as far as what Eddie Hearn is doing. It just seems like when you look at the math and how from when Tank's team supposedly reached out to Shakur, and then immediately after that, you heard Eddie Hearn say, we've been instructed. We just, at that point, or maybe they did have a deal and didn't just announce it. Eddie, audio was
you breaking up. You breaking up, great brother. You got to repeat that.
All right, I'm a truck driver, so I'm driving while I'm talking to y'all.
Salute to the truck
what
drivers.
I was saying was,
salute, King. Be safe out there, driver.
My man. I appreciate it. No, brothers like y'all be keeping my time going. I know I go back and forth in the comments with Blue, but clearly I mess with Blue because I'm always watching. So it's all, like I said, it's all love, man.
For sure. Let me say this, right? That's what we here for, to debate, go back and forth, and that's the fun part. If we don't, there's no fun.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
I just went to San Francisco. I'm a 49er fan. I went to San Francisco. Every Jet fan I seen, I told them, 49ers. Hey man, I'm a Jet fan. I said, I'm sorry to hear that. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't sorry. You a damn liar, bro. We ain't trying to hear that. Jet Nation, stand up. Don't let this man play with y'all in public like that, bro. He ain't sorry, bro. I don't even know how he slid this in there. I don't even understand how we got here. What are we even talking about right now, bro?
I'm just sorry.
What are we even doing right now, Blue? How did this come? This is anyway.
You know what I mean?
Anyway, go ahead, Blue. My bad. Go ahead, bro.
It's all love. What I was saying, I still believe, like, so I remember when, I don't know if it was Elite Auto or it was an actual interview, when Eddie Hearn was like, we've been instructed. At this time, the deal wasn't official, but they might have actually had a deal in place with Matchroom, but it wasn't announced. But remember when Eddie Hearn, I don't remember if it was Elite Audio or actual interview, when he said, we've been instructed not to make any deals or any contact with Tank, saying something to that nature.
Right.
I believe that because that was right after Tank's team supposedly reached out to Shakur, and then we heard nothing. And then like a week later, literally it was like a week later, Shakur find out he got a 2-fight deal with Matchroom.
Right.
So I believe, because you got to remember, Shakur was coming through Matchroom events. He was coming, so they already was having a conversation. And I honestly believe that this fight is going to happen after this Zepeda fight, because what he's trying to do, see, all right, by the pay-per-views being supposedly $15, right? They're not worrying about the price. So if Tank numbers is normally 300K, 400K, 250, whatever Tank's number is, they're saying the same thing they did with Devin. It's the same exact thing. The ticket prices was low, but we had a sellout. So that's Eddie Hearn is thinking from a business perspective, like, all right, y'all saying you get paid what you weigh. That's what Tank's team always saying. You get paid what you weigh.
Right.
Shakur now is coming to y'all at the time of this fight. Let's say they do that 2-fight deal with Cordina and Zepeda. Now he'll have 2 pay-per-views under his belt, coming off of his last performance with ESPN with 1-point-something million viewers. They're going to use those numbers to try to get a higher payday for Shakur than what he probably would initially got if he'd have rushed that fight in November. Because remember, Kenny was playing with him on Fanon when he said, so let's hypothetically you get $3 million, we offer you $6 million. That was a hypothetical, but I believe he meant that. I believe he meant it. Maybe not that exact number, but he basically said we're going to pay you then. If your highest payday was $3 million and we offer you $5 to $6 million, are you going to take it? Eddie Hearn looking at it like, no, we can get more if we build you up with actual numbers. Because think about it, if he'd have fought Tank with Top Rank, Tank's team would have always said, but you fight on free TV.
Right.
So, of course, your number's going to be inflated because no one has to pay. But now Eddie Hearn thinking like, all right, we're going to drop, Turkey's going to drop the price of the 15. So now they expecting him to have 300K buys or something to that nature, where as though if he did 2 consistent pay-per-views with like 200-something thousand buys, now they got something tangible that they can bring to the table as opposed to free TV numbers. That's what I believe. Because like you said, the fight has to happen. We seen what Lomachenko did. I'm not sure the Ukraine dude. I don't know if he actually want to fight Tank or not. But it just looks like that's the only fight that's at 135. And if Tank fight Ryo at this catchweight of 137, 138, then he'll be a dual champion, which I see. Oh, hold up, Blue. Before I go on, I got to challenge you on something. You said that he didn't want to fight Tio, didn't you? I don't remember Tank saying that. I remember Tank saying when he was doing the interview with Cigar Talk that Tio, when he was running off the names, you know, the Devins, the Ryan Garcia rematch, Shakur, and the Tios, he said yes, definitely to all those 4 names. So Tio is still definitely a part of it. Now, I don't believe Tio will fight him because if Tank gets this 140 belt, I promise you Tio is going to run to 147, just like he did. He ran to 140.
No, he said so. When Tank was asked about it, fighting Tio on the list, he said, I got a list of fighters that I want to fight. And he said, I'm not going to name the names. And the person interviewing him said, how about I name the names and you just say yes or no? And he said, okay.
Yep.
Right? He said Shakur. He said, yep. He said Devin. He said, yep. He said Tio. He said, nah, I ain't interested in Tio.
No, I don't remember it like that. He didn't say a definite, but he definitely, I see what you're saying. He definitely didn't say it definitely like he did with Shakur and Devin. But he was like,
he didn't say yeah. He said, I'm not interested in that.
He said, no, I'm not interested in that. That's a fact. That's what he said.
Yeah, he said, I'm not interested in that.
I'm at to do the knowledge on that. Y'all might be right. I'm at to do the knowledge on that.
And then so dude said, okay, that's the list. And he said, you missing one more. And he said, I'm missing one more. He said, yeah. He said, oh wait, I might have it backwards. He said, the last person was either Loma or Shakur. And he said, Loma? And he's like, yeah, him. Or it was Shakur, something like that. So he named those dudes that he wanted to fight. And he said Tio wasn't on the list.
Right.
And
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what he said. And then to Lunatic Menace, just inbox me on Instagram. So and then what you're saying with so this is why it's important, right, great brother? And I'm not trying to knock you when I say this, right?
Okay.
This is why it's important for the content creators. It's important for us to be responsible with what we put out and be able to stand on a square and tell you guys honestly. Like for instance, you just said you're a truck driver. That's your job. So you tune in to us for entertainment. You know what I'm saying? To keep you updated on the sport that you love. You know what I'm saying? So obviously, I know that Shadow's looking for truth in all of this. You understand what I'm saying? So you look at us, okay, I could tune into them because we are mainstream media for boxing. You can't tune into ESPN. You can't tune you got to go through us, right? So
I agree.
It's important to us to pass the information correctly without trying to mislead you to play on what your preferences. You see what I'm saying? I can play to everybody's preference and do massive numbers. But if I tell you the truth, people don't want to hear the truth, right? You'll rather tune into what okay, for instance, again, just as an example, my 49ers, no disrespect to Clay, but you know, my Niners, right? If there's a channel telling me, hey, bro, the Niners defense is not that good, Kyle Shanahan is X, Y, and Z, I'm not going to really tune into that channel. I'm going to tune into the channel that's telling me the Niners going to win the Super Bowl this year. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to more or less tune into that channel than the channel telling me that, hey, this going to get rocky for you. You know what I'm saying? And so it's important for us as boxing platforms to tell you guys the honest truth, right? And so when that video came out, because 90% of the and I don't like to say fans. You guys are not fans. You guys, if there's not a Shadow, there's not a Blue. So that's why I say you guys are family, right? I don't have fans, we have family. So without Shadow, so Shadow tunes in because he wants to hear the truth. So now if I take that interview, it's my job to listen to the interview. It's not Shadow's job to listen to that interview. So if I take that interview, Shadow might only hear that interview is an hour long. How much is he actually going to listen to Eddie Hearn sit there and talk for an hour? Probably not. Maybe 10 minutes because I don't want to do it, right? So now if I take bits and pieces and feed Shadow what I want him to hear from the interview opposed to what's actually said, right? Then you're going to walk away with a skewed narrative. And so what actually was said in that interview with Eddie Hearn was that he was instructed. See, it's been fed to the fans because the facts is Tank Davis is arguably the most exciting fighter in boxing. Tank Davis has arguably the largest fan base in boxing, right? So it's easy to play to that fan base and sell a narrative, right? But the truth of the matter is what Eddie Hearn was saying in that interview, when you listen to it with its totality, he was saying that Shakur instructed him not to mess up the opportunity for him to fight Tank Davis. But it was fed to you guys as if he said, don't make a fight. I'm willing to fight anybody but Tank Davis. That's not what was said. He said, I was instructed. Shakur has a deal in place with Eddie Hearn that if Tank Davis presents himself, Eddie Hearn can involve himself in anything surrounding Tank Davis. But when it comes to Tank Davis, because Tank Davis is a specific, special entity in this entire situation, he's one of few that can sell out anywhere he goes. He's a rock star, right? Like Canelo. You don't have that many. It's a handful. You had Floyd, you had Tank, you got Sugar Ray Leonard. There's a handful. Tommy Hearns wasn't that. Sugar Ray Leonard was that. Marvin Hagler wasn't that. You understand? It's no knock against their greatness and their talent, but they just wasn't the crossover like Sugar Ray Leonard was, like Floyd Mayweather was, like Sugar Ray Robinson was, like Muhammad Ali was, right? Lennox Lewis was great. He couldn't cross over like Mike Tyson. Evander Holyfield beat the brakes off of Tyson twice, but he couldn't cross over like Mike Tyson did. You understand? And so there's a handful of people. Tank and Canelo are those two for our generation, this current generation. Terrence Crawford is pound for pound the best fighter in the world, but Tank is a rock star, and he lives up to the hype. it's one thing to have that status and but don't live up to the hype. It's another thing when you live up to it. And Tank and Canelo, they live up to the hype, right? They're not in boring fights. They deliver, and so their fan base is a solid fan base. So here, therefore, Tank is a special commodity. So Shakur, when negotiating with Eddie Hearn, made, hey, listen, here's the thing. I want to be with you. No Diddy. I want to be with you. I want to sign with you. I want to be promoted by you. But here's the thing. Tank don't rock with you. And so if you in any way, shape, or form is going to hinder me from getting that fight, you cannot be involved. That's what's in the contract. That's what was said. So it wasn't that negotiate for anybody but Tank. Yes, that's what he said, but he meant it in a manner of don't hurt me from getting. You cannot be involved because if that he can use that against me and not make the fight. So Eddie Hearn is exempt from any involvement, and the contract allows Shakur, if Tank comes a knocking, he gets to fight Tank. So if Tank comes and say, bro, you know what? I'm not fighting November. I'm going to fight in February. Shakur has the option in his contract to say, okay, I'm going to fight Tank and not fight Williams Zepeda in February. So that's what people took it, twisted it, turned it, and tried to make it something else to make it look like Shakur was saying, negotiate with everybody, but stay away from Tank. I don't want to fight. That's not what was said. It was stay away from Tank so you don't mess up my opportunity to get the fight with Tank Davis.
100%.
But it was fed to you guys in the form of he signed with them already. He knew he couldn't fight Tank. That's not the truth at all whatsoever. And if you listen to what Lennon Ellaby just said in an interview, he just said Tank wants to fight Shakur bad, but there's a time and place for everything. He's telling you from Tank's side. Now it might not come from Tank himself. Okay, it might not come from Tank himself. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I know it didn't come from Tank himself. I know I'm 1,000% sure Tank probably said, let's get Shakur. But somebody came a knocking on his door and said, no, that ain't the way. The issue that I have with Tank is that now you're in position of power. Call the shots. When you now stand on it. Hey, bro, listen, you said when you was with Floyd that Floyd was directing you to go this way, and this way, which I completely understand because it made him the superstar it did today.
Right.
But now you already here. So now it's time for you to make decisions on your own. Hey, bro, listen, I want to do this fight right now. Like Canelo. Canelo has done that, right? To give you an example, the Lara fight. Oscar and everybody was like, no, you ain't fighting Lara. When Lara walked up to the podium, Lara said, hey, what about fighting me? Tank said, and Canelo said, who is this dude? Y'all want to see me fight this dude? And everybody said, yeah. And Oscar and them was like, no. And Canelo said, bruh, give me Lara next. Oscar was like, no. He said, even Eddie Reynoso said no. Canelo said, I hear what y'all saying. Give me Lara. The people think I'm ducking this man.
Right.
Give me Lara. Y'all ain't got it. When you lay your head on the pillow at night, you thinking business. I'm thinking my legacy. It's my pride. Give me Lara. And he made the Lara fight. And he arguably lost. But he made the fight. And here now Tanks told us he didn't ask for Devin, Shakur, so on and so forth when he was with Floyd. But he always wanted to fight them. And Coach Calvin said, listen, we've been waiting for the Lomachenko fight. And just to give you an example, right? When Lomachenko was presented, he said, give me Lomachenko. And they said, let's make it happen. So my only complaint and gripe is don't kick the tires on Shakur and then let the narrative be Shakur is ducking when you don't make the fight happen. See, my issue with Tank is that he'll poke his head out when he wants to. And again, he's He's well. He can
well
do
within his right. Yeah.
He's well in his rights. I'm not. He you know, like yesterday with Floyd Schofield, he poked his head out with the Floyd Schofield situation and said, "Who is this dude?"
That was appropriate, though. To me, that was appropriate.
Oh, for sure. But that's what I'm saying. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, why not do it with Shakur?
Yeah, he's just saying as an example, when he wants to, he has no problem doing that.
Right.
Nothing's holding him back from doing that. Why not do that with Shakur when the narrative is being pushed? I'm be honest with you, Blue. I think Tank does that because why not stick my head out? Let Shakur get the burn a little bit. I don't care. I don't got no responsibility to protect that boy. You know what I mean? Nothing personal, but at the end of the day, you know what I mean? I'm gonna be pet. That's me poking at him early in the game. Like we about to fight. It's the same way as him and Frank Martin flinching at Frank Martin or saying, you don't like body shots. You trash. You ain't from the hood. This is all part of the game. This is part of the ish talking going on. This is part of the build up for the fight. Yeah, let all my fans think that you was a duck. Let all my fans think that and throw shots at you on Twitter and say all types of crazy things to you and build up this fight. You mad?
Yeah.
Right. And that's my thing. Right. So then what happens is when I tell the truth about the situation, I take the hit because it's Blue hating on Tank. No, I'm not.
No,
I'm telling you.
No, Blue. That's your interpretation. That's your interpretation. Like that's all of them.
No, Shadow. It might not come from you.
That's your interpretation, man. That's your
No. That's from you, Shadow. I'm talking about the mass majority of the chat.
Listen, it get nasty out here.
Man, I had a dude tell me I was on my sling. He told me, I hope you hit a tree.
Yeah. It get nasty in these streets, in these YouTube street, Shadow.
That's too personal, man. Y'all built for it. Y'all can handle it, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm just saying.
It gets handled by this. It gets by Blue holding them accountable and letting them know this is where it's getting handled at, like this.
Right. It got to the point where even Leonard said, "Hey, you a hater, huh?"
All right. So let me ask you this though. Let me ask you this, because what I do know is that Blue low key got a history with Tank. The infamous interview or whatever that was that y'all was on, when he said the only person that can beat me is me. I think this was during the time when you was pushing Devin. I can't really remember, but all I'm saying is y'all have a history. Y'all have a back and forth.
Because this is what I said, right? So
that's why I say you biased. That's why I say you biased.
Yeah, but I'm not biased. So this is what happened, right? I said the same thing you said. I said Tank has no weaknesses. His only weakness to me is his physical limitations that he can't help. He was born short. That's it, right? He's not a big dude. That's his physical limitations. So what I said was, with those physical limitations, right, comes when you facing different styles, certain fighters that can match you in skill set, right? Then they have the skill set to beat you because they have the physical advantage, right? Height, reach, army, things of that nature, right? To give you an example of what I'm trying to say, Floyd Mayweather, great. He can never beat Roy Jones. It wasn't because he wasn't skilled. He's just physically too small for Roy Jones. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree with that analogy.
His arms are too short, right? He's not tall enough. Roy Jones is going to beat him. Floyd is a better pure boxer than Roy Jones, a more skilled boxer than Roy Jones. But Roy Jones has an athletic advantage and size advantage. Now, when you put those two together, Floyd is going to lose, in my opinion.
Me too.
So what I was saying was, the guys that have the skill set, Shakur and Devin, to match Tank's skill set, along with you can't disagree. Their skill set is top notch.
But it's not on his level.
Why not? They just don't have the power. Which one of them can't box?
All right. Let's exclude the power with Tank. Let's say Tank. Let's just not talk about Tank's power.
Okay, so let's just go down the checklist. Who has a better jab out the three of them?
Tank don't really throw jabs. I'll give it. I'll give it to Devin. I'll give it to Devin. I'll give it to. Oh, hold up. Time out. Are we doing Devin, Shakur, and Tank?
Yeah, the three of them.
Okay. All right. Well, jab. I give it to Devin.
And then who is that two?
Salute Hova.
I'll have to give it to Shakur because Tank don't really throw jabs though.
Okay, now you're a fan of boxing. Like I'm a fan of boxing. The first thing you learn in boxing, the most important punch in boxing is your jab.
He's short. That's why he can't throw jabs.
You just
same thing with Mike Tyson.
You just answered. You just told. That's exactly what I was saying.
The physical.
So
they have. Listen to what I'm saying. You just agree with me, right?
No, I'm still disagreeing.
No, they have the skill set. The jab is the most important punch in boxing. If I have a better jab than you and I'm bigger than you, that gives me an advantage.
No, I disagree because
why not?
Tank, you're looking at Tank as his size as a disadvantage. I look at his size as an advantage because he's punching with his legs. They're not doing that.
But again, I got to stop you, Shadow. But what you just did was you went back to power. You just said take power out, but I said he punches with his. I said he punches with his legs, though. Yeah, but that's where your power come from.
But they don't punch with their legs
because they're because they're not power punchers. He has to be a power puncher because his physical disadvantage. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So
I'm not looking at it as a disadvantage. I'm not looking at it as a disadvantage.
No, because you're looking at his brain, his ring IQ, and his ability to close gaps. But that's a physical disadvantage when you're dealing with somebody that's as skilled as you are. When you're not dealing with somebody as skilled as you are, like Rolly, right? Or inexperienced like Frank Martin, you understand? Then he can close the gap. He beat Frank Martin with his feet. But if Frank Martin stayed disciplined with his jab and control the distance, then it's a different fight. So what I'm saying to you is Shakur and Devin, again, the Roy Jones, Floyd Mayweather effect. The most important punch in boxing is your jab. You just said they both have better jabs than him. So guess what? Deontay Wilder stopped Chris Arreola with a jab. Chris Arreola is a title contender. He beat him with a jab. To give you another example, Winky Wright, he beat Trinidad with a jab. He didn't need to use anything else but his jab. I can control the whole fight with my jab. And it don't matter what level of opponent I'm facing. As long as my jab is elite.
I agree with you.
Right. So Winky Wright was able to beat.
I agree with you.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. So Winky Wright was able to beat Trinidad, a Hall of Famer, with a jab. And Trinidad is a power punching Hall of Famer who was in his prime, who was revered as a better fighter than Winky Wright. So therefore, what I'm saying to you is Shakur and Devin have these intangibles. So you said they're not as skilled as Tank. Well, you just said they both got a better jab.
By default, I'm still going to stay. All right. So all right. Let me counter what you're saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. They have a better jab by default because Tank doesn't have the height.
It's not by default. It's not by default.
It is. He don't have the height. He don't have the height. He don't have the height to control it. It is by default.
There are other fighters who got the height and all that, and they don't have a better jab.
Right. You don't need.
No, but they throw jabs. But they throw them. He don't throw them.
I'm gonna give you an example right now. Alexander Usyk is 6'3". Tyson Fury is 6'9". Usyk had the better jab in the fight. He's 6 inches tall.
Yeah, but Tyson Fury throws jabs though.
Yes, but it doesn't matter. Who had the better jab? The smaller guy. Who had the more efficient, better jab? Fury or Usyk?
I see what you're trying to say.
I give you in that particular fight. No, because all right. So let me cook a little bit, right? So you're saying, all right, let's just stay on the jab for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Because of Tank's disadvantage in height.
Oh wow!
It's not an advantage for him to have a jab. So where he lacks in the jab, in the skill set, he's smarter in the ring as ring IQ to nullify your jab. He can make your jab non-existent.
But what you're doing is this. Okay, so again, that makes so what
He'll
you're
take
saying
away
is
that jab. He'll take away both of that jabs.
Okay, so he's physically limited because he's smaller. So
right.
he's naturally smaller. Okay, so they naturally don't have the power that he has, so that's why their defense is better.
I disagree on that too. I don't see their defense being better than Tank.
How?
Because he got better head movement. He has better head movement.
Well, but the proof is in the facts, though. Shakur has the best defense percentage, hit and not get hit in all of boxing, and Devin Haney was number 2 behind him before the Ryan Garcia fight, which means
you know what I don't like about numbers. You know what I really don't like about numbers? They don't tell the whole story. So you got to look at the opponents. It doesn't. You got to look at the opponents. You can't just say based off percentages.
I'm glad you said that. Glad you said that. He did it. They did it against better opponents.
Hell no, I definitely disagree.
Huh?
I definitely disagree.
How?
I stand by Tank's resume. I stand by his resume. I don't. Okay, if his resume is lackluster, then why do they always want to fight?
That's we have to remove the emotion, right? I didn't say Tank's resume was lackluster. I said that they did it against better opposition than he did. Never said that his. I never said that his. Shakur did it against Oscar Valdez, Jamel Herring. These are world champions that he took the belts from. That was Jamel Herring. Oscar Valdez was undefeated, right? Devin Haney went to Australia twice. He beat Lomachenko, right?
How tall is Oscar Valdez? How tall is Oscar?
Now you're talking about. Now you see what I'm saying? You're moving the goalposts.
No, I'm not. I'm saying I literally said it. I literally said numbers don't tell the whole story, right? I said
what is his height? Isaac Cruz is 5'3".
Yeah, so but Tank only 2 inches taller than him.
So Oscar Valdez is 5'7". Oscar Valdez is 5'7" and Shakur is 5'8".
They fought at 130, right? They fought at 130.
Now you're talking about the weight class, bro. You don't feel yourself? Now you're talking about the weight. You just said you went from height. Bro, you went from height to weight.
No, because you're trying to You're trying to say that.
Bro, you trying to justify him fighting who they fighting. It doesn't matter what weight class or who's taller. The facts when you're
dealing with numbers.
So if that's the case, who on Tank's resume you think could beat Devin Haney? I think Mario Barrios can beat him. You bet your house that Mario Barrios beat Devin Haney.
Yes.
Okay.
I believe that. I believe that.
Come on, great brother, stop it, man.
So most people, to me. No,
so if you bet, okay, cool. Before Mario Barrios fought Tank, who did Barrios fight?
So now you moving the goalpost. See how you just moved it?
I didn't move the goalpost. You saying that Mario Barrios. Who did Barrios beat before he fought Tank?
What do that got to do with me believing he can beat Devin?
I'm asking you why would you what examples do you have of Mario Barrios to say that he would beat Devin Haney?
The fight that he put up against Tank.
I said when he didn't fight Tank, you didn't know who Barrios was, is my point.
Well, now I do based off the Tank fight.
Based off of him giving Tank a tough fight, you didn't know who he was. So now, because he gave Tank a tough fight. So let me give you an example, right? Again, styles make fights, right?
I agree.
Okay. So Tank had a tough fight with Barrios. That means Barrios could beat Devin in your opinion, right?
No, that's what you said.
No, you said based off of Barrios' fight with Tank, you think that Barrios would beat Devin Haney.
Yeah, I never said it was a tough fight though. You said it was a tough fight.
What did he do against Tank to make you think he could beat Devin if it wasn't a tough fight?
I didn't say it. I believe Mario Barrios put up a good fight with Tank. The only reason why it appeared tough.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Because that was his first time fighting at 140.
Who beat Isaac Cruz more easy, Ryo or Tank?
Okay, Ryo used the exact. If you look at that fight, Ryo fought Pitbull exactly like how Tank fought him.
Who was more efficient? Who was more efficient though?
I don't know the number, so if I would literally.
You just said number, bro. This is what I'm talking about goalposts moving. You just said numbers don't matter.
I never said that again. I said they don't tell the whole story. I said they don't tell the whole. I said they don't tell the whole story.
Right. I just when I brought up the
numbers, I never said they didn't matter. I never said they didn't matter. I said they don't tell the whole story.
Bro, you using these things when it's convenient, bro.
You're using them because you won't allow me to complete my thought, though.
Bro, you just said when I brought up numbers, you said numbers don't tell the whole story. So now I'm saying based off of what you watch with Riyadh and Isaac Cruz and Tank and Isaac Cruz, then you said you need to see the numbers.
Tank was more efficient.
Oh, okay, great, brother.
He had the blueprint. He created the blueprint. He created the blueprint to beat Pitbull.
Bro, he didn't create the. How could you create the blueprint? How could you create the blueprint to beat Pitbull when he already had a loss before he fought Tank?
No, what I'm saying is the way that Tank beat Pitbull is exactly how Riyadh
it didn't matter. He already had a loss before he fought Tank, so the blueprint was out there before Tank did it.
The blueprint that Tank created, Riyadh followed. He didn't follow.
It doesn't matter. He already lost. He lost before he fought Tank.
You're not listening to what I'm saying.
So he didn't have to fight. He didn't have to follow Tank's blueprint because the blueprint was already there.
But that's what he did. No, but he did though. It's not that he didn't have to. He did follow.
So he did it and he elevated it though.
It looked the same. It looked like a cheaper version of it.
No, it did, bro. Stop, man. Come on, man. Stop.
So
you could be a fan. We could be. Hold on. Stop. We could be a fan of a fighters. Let's be honest, bro. We have to be honest and we have to be realistic, man. Isaac Cruz didn't win. He barely won a single round against El Rayo, bro. Now you're trying to say he had a competitive fight with Tank, and you trying to say Tank did it better just because you like Tank, bro. Stop. We can't do that.
So did Tank have two hands or one?
Stop.
Throughout the entire fight. Did he have two hands or one? I'm asking the question.
Bro, you move again. I just told you you're going to continue. Clay, what did I say earlier? If I tell you the sky's blue, if I tell you the sky's light blue, you're gonna change. You're gonna tell me it's light blue.
I'm asking a question. No,
first I asked you. Listen, I said about Shakur, and then you said, "Well, how short is Oscar Valdez?" So I said he only won in shorter. Well, what weight class they was in? Doesn't matter. They both made weight. Well, what was this?
I'm doing what you did. I'm doing what you did.
I didn't do anything, brother. I didn't change. I didn't ask you about weight classes and none of that. We was talking about skill set, skill for skill. I asked you who has a better jab. Then you said, well, that's because Tank don't got a jab. You don't hear yourself making up excuses?
That's not an excuse. I said by default because he doesn't throw one. That's not an excuse.
Bro. Who has a better jump shot? Steph Curry or Reggie Miller? Well, that's because the era. No, bro.
No, that's different because both of them shoot jump shots. Tank don't throw jabs. So of course, if I don't throw a jab, if I don't throw a jab, and you throw a jab, you'll have a better jab than me, right?
Shadows, chill. He throws a jab, brother. He just doesn't. He doesn't throw it as efficient and often as they do. Period.
No, I disagree. It's definitely efficient. He don't throw it often as they do.
Okay, I didn't say it's not efficient. I said it's not efficient as theirs is.
That's what I literally just said what you said. I said
no. I said that he throws a jab.
His is efficient. He just don't throw as much as they do.
Brother, I just said that. He doesn't. He throws a jab. It's not as efficient and often as theirs.
But I disagree. His is efficient.
You just said it. Bro, no, I just said that. I never said it, bro. Shadow.
Are you listening to yourself? Are you listening to yourself?
Brother, I said
it's not as efficient as theirs.
Shadow. Listen, just listen, brother. This is why I tell the boxing fans, y'all emotionally, love you too, baby. Y'all are y'all emotionally attached to a fighter, and y'all just throw a lot. You're not even listening. I said that Tank's jab. I just said Tank's jab is efficient. It's not as efficient as theirs. I never said it wasn't.
And I disagree. I say his is as efficient as theirs. He just don't throw it as often. You said two things. You said efficient and often.
So let me ask you this question. It's as efficient as theirs. It's the most important punch in boxing. So why doesn't he throw it?
It's not the most important punch in boxing.
What?
Okay, all right, Shadow. I gotta get to the next
everyone
one.
Doesn't. Everyone doesn't use the jab.
Shadow.
But the jab's the most important punch in boxing, bro.
I love you, great brother.
It's not.
You know that.
It's not.
I love you, great brother.
What's the most important punch then? What is it?
You walk into a boxing gym.
Then why everybody don't use? Then why everybody don't have a great jab then? If it's the most important.
I don't know why everybody don't have a great jab, but the jab is the most important punch in boxing. I don't know why you just said that. I don't know. Whatever. That's cool.
The jab sets up in all right. Shadow.
Every shot. I don't know, bro. I can't even argue that. I don't know.
This one.
Let me ask y'all. Have y'all ever threw a jab?
Of course.
That's the first punch you learn when you walk in the boxing gym.
Come on, what are we talking about right now? Nobody's gonna come on. It's okay. That's your opinion. You don't think? Okay, that's cool. I understand.
Yeah, I disagree. That's all. I just disagree.
It's all good. Respectfully, all right.
Bro. See, this is what happens, right? Because there's a such thing as everybody has an opinion. Then we use this then we overuse it. We abuse it, right? So nobody in boxing is going to say the jab is not important, but because we have an opinion, it's the most important. I don't know anybody. This is the first time I ever heard anybody say that the jab's not. That's why I said, what's the most important punch then? I was interested in your opinion on what the most important punch in boxing is then.
I don't think it's one punch that's important. I don't think it's one punch that's most important.
When you walk into
you won't allow me to talk. You won't allow me to complete my thought.
Shadow. Listen, brother. Listen. If you go into Coach Calvin's gym in Baltimore and ask him, the first thing they're going to teach you is the jab because you do everything off of
100%.
Okay,
it's the foundation of everything.
I'm not disputing that, but
you wouldn't allow me to.
You wouldn't allow me to.
That makes it the most important. That makes it the most important. In any legend trainer is going to tell you that the most important punch in boxing is your jab. You do.
Then why everybody don't use it?
Because every Shadow. Listen to me, brother.
It's a simple question,
brother. Just listen to me. If you play basketball in the NBA, right?
No, let's stick to boxing. No more analogy.
Shadow, listen. Just listen. When you walk on an NBA court, okay, everybody has to shoot a jump shot. Right? You got to shoot. That's a part of the game. Shooting the basketball.
No, that's a terrible analogy. Because let me tell you, every basketball player don't have a jump shot.
Right. That's my point. That's my point exactly. You're making my Shadow. You're making my point exactly. Everybody's not as some people master it better than others, brother.
No, some players literally don't have a jump shot.
Who?
Dennis Rodman did not have a jump shot.
Did you see Dennis Rodman in high school? Did you see him in college? Did you see Dennis Rodman shooting?
Did you see NBA?
Did you see how you move the goalpost? Did you see? Bro, Shadow, listen. Shadow,
you can move the goalpost, but I can't.
Listen. When
Blue,
Dennis
I'm killing everything you say, man.
Bro, when you watch Dennis Rodman in practice, go watch his training videos. Watch Dennis Rodman in practice.
How about I just watch him in the NBA and he don't shoot jump shots?
Bro, watch Dennis Rodman in practice in high school and college. You can see he has a jump shot. He clearly has a jump shot. Everybody's not as efficient with it when the bullets are flying, brother. That's the difference.
Shaq have a jump shot. The Jason Williams from the New Jersey.
Did you see Shaq hitting threes? It's different when you have a body in front of you.
No,
that's where the difference. You're not listening, brother. You're not.
You won't allow me to talk. You won't allow me to talk.
Put the link into that because I'm looking for that. I can't find that.
What, the Dennis Rodman?
No, that Shakur fight is off because he got a hand injury. I'm trying to find it.
Everybody's saying that. I haven't seen none.
I'm trying to find it.
I'm gonna text Wally.
I'm trying to figure out what that.
He just, I guess. The boxing. The jab is the most important punch.
Man, I ain't never heard nobody say
that was the first.
That's the first, bro. I've never heard that.
It don't count when it comes to Tank. That's it.
I've never ever heard anybody say the jab is not important in boxing. Never heard that.
Yeah, I was in shock. That's why I was like, well, look, I don't want to argue with you, bro, but can you at least give me what the with the most important punches in your opinion? Can we start off with that? Give me that at least. Let me get that so I can work on that.
Man,
I can't really. I don't know what to say to you.
Tank fans don't allow that type of logic. You know, hey, if it's something against Tank, it's wrong. So
Shakur put this on.
Hey, is Shakur hand hurt?
I don't know because people is
That's what I'm trying to see.
Who that Wally?
Yeah, so his hand is not hurt.
Michael Benson said it. I just pulled up. Michael Benson said that. So I'm trying to see who else is saying that. Shakur Stevenson.
I'll be with Bud in an hour. He'll let me know. I'm on with Blue Blood Sports TV. Hey, Blue, you know Tilo?
Huh?
You know Tilo?
Who is it?
Tilo, Bud's cousin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he said what's up.
Tell him I said what up.
He said you was out there last time with him.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, so can you find out if Shakur hand hurt for me real quick?
Yeah, I'm gonna text Wally right now.
Well, they saying Shakur fight is off.
That's what Michael Benson is saying on Twitter. I'm just looking at it right now. That's what Michael Benson is saying.
All right, good luck. Hit me right back.
He just put it out at 6:01.
He said he gonna call Bud right now.
All right, I'm about to ask Wally.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's all he needs.
Shakur put this. Shakur just said there's ups and downs going to happen. 2025 is going to be my year.
But remember he hurt his hand. He hurt his hand after the Argentinian fight as well.
Right, and Wally said that he has hand injuries. So
he was hurt during the Santos fight too.
And that exactly he was hurting his shoulder and his hand. His shoulder and his hand were both. And here's the thing: a lot of people gonna sit up here and be like, "Oh, I know the boy personally. I know Bud personally. Been in the gym with him, so I'm listening to
you. Just called his people, so
we like, bro, y'all sound sick. Y'all sound sick. But
it is. It's nauseating. Bro. It's nauseating because you know what you're gonna have to hear about this. You already know it's just gonna double up. Everybody, it is what it is. Eddie confirmed. Damn, bro, you be all right, bro. Get up, bro. You got it, Tiger. Tiger looked like he fell all out, like the camera fell out of his hand and everything. Tiger devastated. Like I said, I gotta go for a walk, man. Give me a minute, bro. Too soon. Give me a minute, bro.
I hope it ain't true, man.
Hey, it might be, but because he was supposed to do this is what I got from Wally and when I was out there in Houston. He was supposed to go into rehab for his hands and start but he didn't. He got back to the gym, start working again right away.
Yeah, that's what Wally
already starting. Like I have been saying, Shakur will continue to fight nobodies for his entire career. Yeah, you was waiting, you was holding on that one.
It's crazy.
Oh man, I hope this ain't true. I'm looking forward to that, bro.
Me too. If it is true, maybe we get Zepeda then Tank right back to back.
Yeah, Fabian Rivera and then the whole
that's true. That's true.
He finally came in and said something. Shakur scared of Tank. Now he making excuses about his hand. Welcome to boxing, people. Welcome to boxing as we know it today, people. It is what it is, right? It is what it is.
Hey, so he's so scared of Tank that he faked the injury to fighting Joe. Oh, okay.
Yeah, exactly. He figured he could push it out. He might as well go ahead and break his hand and push it all the way out. Let's start off with Joe Cordina. It is what it is.
Wild, bro.
Shout out to Showbiz, diabolical.
I need to tell everybody.
Showbiz hate Shakur. His whole show is Shakur hate. That dude is a Tank lover. Anything with Shakur in it, Showbiz.
What are you talking about, Fanon?
Showbiz.
No, oh God, that's a whole nother conversation.
But Showbiz don't like Shakur.
Oh yeah, no, he don't. Showbiz don't like Shakur at all. It's a couple different people that don't like. It was so funny because I get on and it's like they put Bud and Shakur. Everybody that don't like Bud don't like Shakur. It's everybody that don't like Andre Ward don't like Bud, don't like Shakur. It's the same group of people. They just got their favorites. It is what it is.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah. That's just something we'd never be able to. They gonna always their favorites.
I like something that Blue always say, and it's something that I had to stop, look at, and adopt. I'm a fan of the sport of boxing, and yes, I do got my favorites. I got my preferences because I prefer the way that they box. I prefer Shakur over Tank. I love Tank. I think Tank is one of the best boxers out here today. But do I put him over Shakur? No, because I'm a pure boxing fan.
Right.
And a pure boxing fan, you look at distance, you look at timing, you look at footwork. Hold on, he's gonna tell me right now. Hey, what's up, T-Lo? I'm still on live with him. Did you get that already?
We got Eddie Hearn right here saying it.
Yep, Eddie Hearn just said it. He said it. He is hurt. Damn. Well, shit. Well, pull up on YouTube. We here right now. So what? Pull up on YouTube. We here right now. All right. Blue Blood Sports TV or Clay Rain. So either one. All right. He gonna pull up, but that's crazy. Yep, he said he is hurt. He said he just talked to him. He said his hand is hurt. That's wild.
I was looking forward to that fight.
That's wild.
Yeah, I just saw Eddie Hearn make the announcement official on Twitter. He's official injury, camera in his face, said it. Busted up a tendon in his left knuckle. Had to have immediate surgery.
That's the same.
Surgery.
Again,
Cut open. Immediate surgery.
The same injury.
Yeah.
I just messaged Shakur, so let me see what he said.
I guess he faking that for Tank.
Yeah, he went and hit a wall. He went and hit a steel wall just to get out that fight. I'm gonna break my whole hand, bro. Right now, dog. I can't do this.
Let me tell y'all, though. Let me tell y'all, though. Let me tell y'all how whoever you confine in,
no doubt, D-boy.
Universe, whatever, right? But look how it works in mysterious ways, right? Because if this was Tank, we'd be sick.
Oh yeah.
We'd be sick, right? Like, bro.
Hey, that's wild. You know that the crazy. You're right, because had he accepted that fight for November, and then but look how it would have played out for real, because he already ducking, right? He already ducking. He ducking Tank, even though he fighting Joe Cordy. He ducking Tank already. But can you imagine if this was Tank versus Shakur right now? Oh my God.
That's what I'm saying. Like, could you imagine the backlash he would be getting?
100%. 100%. It is what it is, right? I mean, you can't do nothing about it. It's sad. Oh, Rachel's just. I bet you that's what Rachel's about to tell me. Hold on.
I just missed the super chat.
Hey,
yes, she just hit me.
I was gonna ask him if he made a pull up.
Who, Rachel?
Rachel or Ashley, either one of them.
How long an injury is this, huh?
Man, this gonna be a minute because he had surgery on it.
Yeah, and it's a tendon too.
And it's a tendon.
Yeah. So
yeah.
That's crazy.
That's like your Achilles, bro.
Yeah, that's gonna take rehab and everything to get that where it need to be. He ain't gonna just be punch on that just right after surgery either. Eddie Hearn said early 2025. It might be like mid 2025.
Yeah, I was gonna say you can't just get on the tendon for at least, I mean, that's 6 to 8 weeks after surgery just to have to move it and do whatever you got to do.
Like,
easy. And the thing is, Rob, man, bro, I feel sorry for him, man.
He ain't gonna be able to punch on nothing until maybe February or March. I mean, not
easy, right? Because
Rachel, it was me. I said I got the text from you.
See, I mean, it's crazy because you can put a narrative on anything, but I guarantee they won't put the narrative on Shakur hands is hurt. That play into his punching power. I bet you they won't say that.
But Wally has said that too. Remember when Wally was here? He was like, he was like his hands be hurt, but we have a hard time keeping him out the gym.
Right. I mean, remember Floyd said the same thing about his hands. That's why he didn't really just, he gave you enough, Yeah. Because his hands was kind of.
Remember what fight was that when he landed the hook and then he took the knee? I forgot what fight.
Against the Mexican. It was against.
Yeah, it was. It was against
It was a Mexican. I forgot his name. He came back and won that fight though.
Yeah.
Yeah, he turned around. He turned his back.
Yeah.
He turned his back.
And everybody thought that he went down because he got hit with something.
Right.
But yeah, I remember that. Yep.
Yeah, he hurt his hand in the middle of the fight.
A lot of people forget. Like let's back it up here. A lot of people forget.
Rachel, click the link, Rachel.
A lot of people forget.
She says 6 months, but that isn't taking into consideration impact.
Exactly.
Yep.
people forget that he been doing this since he was a kid, and that through Olympics and everything else. And you know how many times you got to fight in the Olympics back to back. But you also know when you preparing for the Olympics and going through just the state tournaments and then the nation or national tournaments to get to that level, people forget how many people you actually fighting on the back-to-back date and the wear and tear on you.
It's no different from a kid playing basketball from grade school on up. By the time he get, his knees and feet gonna be hurt, because you've been running and jumping on them, for, over and over. Same thing with a football player. Like after a certain while, if you hitting and running and shit gonna wear down a little bit.
But I just want to let y'all know, he ain't hurt. He just ducking Tank.
Yeah.
Who?
Man, that's terrible, man.
He ain't
that hurt.
Ducking Tank.
Yeah, he ducking. He ducking.
Let everybody in the chat tell it. He ducking Tank.
Oh yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact right now.
Yeah.
Oh, 1,000%.
He's the first man I ever seen duck a fighter without a contract.
That's
Before
great.
the contract come. Never seen that.
Nah, but I got on because of what I heard. I heard old boy got that blue crazy. The first dude he let get up.
Man,
he was tweaking, right?
I was like, yo, you ain't milk today, son.
Yeah, he was tweaking.
Hey, Blue, he was about worse as that dude you said followed you around the fight with his daughter, talking about tank this, tank that.
Yo, man, that was. Did I told you about that, Clay?
Nah, what happened?
So I went to the press conference, the Mike Tyson press conference.
Yeah.
Jake Paul.
Oh.
And I walked in, and security walked me in, and I was with my son. Security walked me in, and we went to the front. I'm going to talk to Mike Tyson's son, and then this dude's like, "Oh snap, they go blue blood." So I'm like, "What's good, my guy?" So I go to shake his hand. He like, nah, this Tank over here. So I'm like, oh okay. So I just walked away. I'm like, okay. He like, yeah, nah, Tank over here. So I'm like, okay. He like, yeah. He started going on a tangent. F Devin Haney, F Bill Haney. So I'm like, oh, okay. So I just walk away, right?
Yeah, you click.
Yo, bro, he got his daughter on his shoulder, sitting on his shoulders. Bro comes back. Me and my son walk. I'm talking Mike Tyson's son and everything. We talking to family. Bro comes. I turn around. He like, yeah. He back. Yo, he's right next to me with the camera now. He recording me. He's recording me now. Yeah. It's Tank over here. Big Tank over here. Big Tank over here. Big Tank. I'm like, bro, did you even meet Tank? It's Big Tank over here. It's Big Tank over here, bro. He just kept on repeat. It's Big Tank over here. My son busts out laughing. Mike Tyson's son busts out laughing. He like, bro, you know this dude? I'm like, bro, I don't know this dude. It's Big Tank over here. He's like, bro, how did you
trying to get a backstage pass? He like, Tank, you see me representing for you? You gonna give me a backstage pass? He auditioning for his backstage pass. I'm the biggest.
Big Tank over here. It's Big Tank over here. I'm like, bro. I said, bro. So he's recording me. So I said, bro, you better pray Tank never lose. It's Big Tank over here. It's Big Tank over here.
Trying to get a reaction out
of you. Tank lose, man. The internet might die that night.
Oh, it's gonna be real quiet in these YouTube streets. It's gonna be real quiet.
Can you imagine that?
Hey, but here's the thing. If y'all really pay attention, right? Because dude was on his. He was like, "Oh, bro, like it was the blueprint. Tank laid the blueprint. It's the same blueprint to beat Tank. All you got to do is keep him at a distance."
But I was trying to tell Shadow. I'm saying, bro, He said, "Well, Tank laid the blueprint to beat Isaac Cruz. How could you lay the blueprint to beat Isaac Cruz when he already lost?
Almost lost. It was a split decision.
No. What I'm saying, Isaac Cruz lost before he fought Tank. So how could Tank lay the blueprint to beat him when he already lost?
It makes sense anyway because Rayo lost what 2 or 3 rounds. Tank lost what 5, 6 rounds. That's why they want the rematch.
Hey, but here's the thing, though.
No blueprint.
This is what people forget. Injuries happen during fights, and you still got to get through the fight and win, which he did. Props to him. But people act like, oh, well, his hand got hurt. And just like it can happen, what happened with Nico Walsh, Ali Walsh. His whole shoulder popped out during the third
crazy
fight.
Crazy. Still had to perform and won.
Andy Cruz just went 12 rounds with Big Baby Miller with a hurt hand.
It literally. How whole wrist was broken.
Man, yeah. I mean, like I said, nothing applies unless it comes to Tank. When it's Tank, everything's off the table. Is
Yeah. I mean, the fans are gonna do what the fans do. I've learned to appreciate the hate, man. I ain't gonna lie. I learned to appreciate him. Like, there you go, right on time. There you are. You know what I'm saying? I knew you was here because they usually won't say nothing until the opportunity comes. They'll be in the chat for like a whole hour not saying nothing. All of a sudden, they'll pop up and say something because they see an opportunity. Like, there you go. I knew you was watching.
The part I don't get is how they keep talking about Shakur ain't got punching power, this, that, and the third about the fight. Well, if you look at Bivol and Beterbiev, that's a perfect example of it. One's a boxer, one's a knockout artist.
Hey.
They're not telling Bivol you got to go out and knock out everybody in order to fight Beterbiev. They want to see the styles clash, a boxer versus a knockout artist. So
right.
It can't be that with Shakur.
And Bivol has 10 knockouts.
Right. He went 11 straight fights without one. He just got a stoppage his last fight.
Right.
But and before that, people wasn't saying, "Oh, he got to get knockouts to fight Beterbiev." They just want to see.
No. But check this out though. And salute to talk that
crazy
17 brother in super chat. He said that number one interview but 2 interview. He said I guess
yeah.
Blue,
I just seen your IQ drop a point. I just saw it happen. Right on the screen, like, you gotta go read the book later.
But just think about this though, right? They didn't say Bivol needed that to fight Canelo.
Right.
They didn't say Usyk needed knockouts to fight Joshua and Fury.
But my real
Garcia needed it.
My real question is, if he ain't got no power, why ain't nobody just running in there and knocking his ass out?
It's the same thing with Floyd. They said the same thing about Floyd, and Manny went up there and threw 17 punches around all of a sudden.
Right.
Listen, something made him chill. Something made him chill.
You heard what Cotto and Shane Mosley said. They're like, bro, yeah, Floyd got. You heard what Oscar said. He's like, man, Floyd got power.
Right.
Hey, you heard what Oscar Valdez said. Oh yeah, Shakur got power. Oscar Valdez running there and tried to beat him down. If that was the case, why it ain't happen? Why Yoshino didn't just beat him up?
Yeah, then you got people in the comments talking about Shakur ain't knocked nobody out. Dude, he just stopped hearing Yoshino and dropped Valdez. Like,
right, exactly.
Hey, you see what he did to Herring? He didn't just stop Herring. That's my dog, though. He cool as shit.
Man, he beat the brakes off Herring.
No, he beat that dude into, you know what I mean? He get that dude a mercy. They gave him a mercy stop. Like, yo, just stop it. Just stop it, man. Just all right, man. He got enough. He good.
Let me ask y'all this question though. Does this give validation to why he didn't let his punch with power and let his hands go against Del Santos and
100%?
And
I was already on board with that from the moment. Listen, we got people want to just go all out and just call men liars.
Clay, take over 1 second.
All right, got you. People want to let men just want to call other men liars without no person. That's a person. To call somebody a liar is a personal thing. If you ain't got a personal relationship with him, it's difficult for me to see and call somebody a liar. You got to be able to take things into context at times. Maybe fighters are selling themselves in a certain way. Maybe they trolling at certain times. We don't know. If Shakur Stevenson said there was an injury, then you see x-rays. Then you see other people co-sign. You hear Bob Aaron talking about it. You hear the team talking about it. Why do we got to tap into he's lying? For what reason? You know what I'm saying? What reason? What does that help? Nobody believes in building fighters up no more. That's why I was so happy when Blue said what Floyd used to do all the time. Floyd was notorious for building up the fighters he was going to fight. He built them up.
Look what he did for Tank. Had Floyd not put Tank on all his other undercard fights and his big fights, what we know
his name and conferences and all of that, you wouldn't even be on the same level as everybody else.
Yeah, because how does your victory look against somebody who's trash? Like I always said, when Tank fought Frank Martin, one of the biggest things I used to say when he said, Frank, you ain't ready for this yet. You 2 fights too soon. These things did not help. Later on, after he knocked Frank out, people were like, yeah, but Frank was a cherry pick. They used that against you to say that guy wasn't going to be able to compete with you, and you knew it. You didn't you didn't take from Floyd's book where he'd have been like, yo, Frank Martin's a straight competitor. Listen, I think he would have beat Shakur. And his last fight against Artem, you know what I mean? That's an Eastern European boxer. Sometimes those fights happen, but I know I got to prepare for him. This guy's a straight threat. You know what I'm saying? This is the way you build up the fighter so that nobody can't take away your victory when you get your victory. So today's fan wants to break down and destroy and make the other fighter not have a chance. But then that takes away from your fighter's glory.
Absolutely.
How can we give him the glory for somebody who he was supposed to be, that he was going to run through anyway? There's who's going to give him the glory? Where's the fight that you want to see in front of the fighter?
You telling on yourself,
right?
You ain't ready for this. You ain't ready. Then why the fuck are you? Excuse me.
I mean,
fighting?
You see Canelo doing it now when he fought Munguia and Berlin. We know these is cherry picks, but he's a great fighter.
Listen,
you know,
he's keeping it 100. He knows how to sell it. He's building the fight.
It's business, man.
Watch when Canelo fights. If Canelo fights Terrence Crawford, you're gonna see him giving Terrence Crawford all the props. He's gonna be like, "Yo, Terrence is a pound for pound great fighter. This is probably one of." He's gonna be giving him all the props in the world because he knows that's part of his glory.
Hey, but that's what I would expect. Look at all Terrence fights. It don't matter who he's fighting. He'll say that's a dangerous man over there. Why? Because any real boxer knows all it takes is one punch. Hey, you didn't see that coming, or you got, or you weren't as disciplined or as focused. If you get hit with that, that man is still just as battle trained or battle tested as you, even if you don't got as much experience. If he catch you slipping, it could be night.
Hey, what's that dude? He beat Roy Jones, then Roy came back and knocked him out in the first round.
What he beat? Say it again. The dude what?
Jones. Then Roy came back and knocked him out.
You're talking about oh my goodness, what's his name? Oh, I'll get him right now. I won't even try to remember. I know what you're talking about. When he told he told the ref, like, come on, man, get this dude. He done, man.
Yeah.
Hold on a second. The ref was like, nah, finish him.
Example of that though. Like everybody knew Roy was supposed to beat him, but beat Roy in that first fight. You see what I'm saying? Like it can happen, bro. Like
happen at any time,
any given time,
bro. A lot of people just think, and that's why I find it funny, right? Because let me break this down, because oh boy, Shadow, who was on here, was talking about, oh well, I don't think any of these guys on Javante level. Well, if we really break down the fighters and the types, don't get me wrong,
Montel Griffin,
he got skill, but does he lunge and get undisciplined a lot? Absolutely. Is he out of position a lot? Absolutely. Does he get hit a lot? Absolutely. Can he protect himself against the jab? Not really. Does he throw the same combination of the same punch over and over again because he's fighting against a less IQ opponent or a lesser opponent in terms of the understanding of what punches are being thrown? I've seen Javante Davis throw the same left hook 3 times in a row. I've seen Javante Davis throw the same uppercut 3 times in a row. I've seen this over and over again. I've seen Javante Davis lunge with that left hand throw. You think you're gonna be able to do that against somebody who's at the same level as you? Got the spacing, the timing, the distance, and the reach over you? Come on, man. Let's be real. Let's stop.
And cannot get hit.
Let's stop this. Let's stop the nonsense.
We talking about a man get hit when he want to get hit. Shakur don't have to let Tank hit him if he don't want to. We've seen him that disciplined in a fight.
And what you gonna do when you get desperate?
Right.
Get thirsty.
Yeah, when you're down 3, 4, 5 rounds, when you're down, you know what I'm saying? When the corner says you gotta stop him. If that conversation comes up and he says, yo, you gotta stop him, I ain't gonna lie to you, champ. You're gonna have to do it right now. You're gonna have to make it happen. Now you're risking running into something because you don't think Shakur understands what the decision is that's being made over there. You don't think he's setting up for that. The fight is a fight, man. The fight is a fight, man, and it's close. It's a closer fight than people want to acknowledge, because this generation of fighters are desensitized to the science of boxing. They look at the knockout and the science of boxing holds no more weight. It doesn't hold the weight no more that it should hold.
Well, that's because people also don't know boxing, and I don't mean they don't know fighting. They don't know boxing. And am I saying that Javante Davis and the footwork and putting pressure and cutting off the ring and then getting on that inside and then catching Shakur because he is so small and compact, and there's a chance that he could set the right trap and bait Shakur into something, or Shakur get too you know, he's paying too much attention and get too defensive minded, not letting his hands go, and next thing you know, he get caught with something else, you know, that he didn't see because he's so worried about that left hook. But Gervonta got power in both hands. Am I saying that Gervonta can't beat Shakur? No, because anything can happen on Saturday. But the reality is if Shakur plays his cards right, real boxing fans know distance, timing, spacing, moving around. Do you know why? Do you know one of the reasons, on top of many others, that Frank Martin lost that fight? Because he kept circling around to the right the entire fight.
He was red patterns
over and over and over. Gervonta was like, okay, cool. I
know exactly how to get him.
I know how I'm gonna get you because you've already shown me everything that you have.
Right.
For the first 6-7 rounds, I let you do what you do so I can understand what you were going to do.
And you biting on these feints. Like crazy. I'm about to walk you right into it.
He kept going to the right.
He's like, I'm gonna feint you into this damn uppercut. Watch this. Then I'm gonna finish you with that left. Easy.
I didn't understand him going to the ropes when you the bigger man. My thing is time up. Every time Tank get ready to unload, time up, make him restart. Push him back out, jab him. Like,
you gotta tie Tank up like that.
You got to.
No, you don't. Because if you make Tank work in the inside, yes, he got that sneaky uppercut hook.
That's what he was scared of, was that uppercut. Yeah,
that's what he was scared of.
Yeah.
But if you make Tank work and you spin Tank, I'm not saying he can't move his feet because he can. Stand there and you make, and here's why, what people forget. Go watch Shakur in the amateurs. Go watch Shakur in his early fights. People forget that Shakur can absolutely stand in a pocket and not get hit when he wants to. And that's why we give Shakur so much. That's why, as a real fan of his, I'd be like, yeah, bro, you could have let your hands go more.
Me too. I say the same thing.
Beat up on this dude, but instead of sitting in the pocket and slipping and moving like we know you can, you didn't. And that's why, was your fight a little boring? You could have did a little bit better, little bro. You could have.
Right.
Because we know what you're capable of.
But
I think that's where real boxing fans come in. We know what he's capable of. We just got to see him do it and willingly do it.
Exactly, because another fight they criticized him about is the Nakatillo, the African dude.
Nakatillo. Yeah.
And people say he didn't let his hands go. Well, for one, you don't want to go slug for slug with a slugger because that's
make no sense.
Style.
Boom. Anything.
Not his style. Number one, but if you pay attention in that fight, he dropped him unofficially 2 or 3 times.
Absolutely.
Let me ask you guys a question. Do you, because this is a matchmaking question, the importance of matchmaking in as far as the way it aligns with the development of a fighter, the way a fighter gets better or digresses even, right? The lack of good matchmaking, you can see a fighter digress. I think Edgar Berlanga may have suffered from that a little bit. He was a way better fighter earlier in his career, and it seems like he might have digressed based on the bad matchmaking that wasn't forcing him to develop certain skills that would have made him better. A fighter who is not seeing enough competition that's forcing him to adjust, is that fighter potentially being desensitized and lose on the adjustment skills, that when he gets in front of that fighter that's forcing him to that's forcing him to adjust, he's thinking too hard now in the ring. He's having to remember, he's having to bring back something that he hasn't used that's turned rusty on him from years ago, and being able to get taken advantage of by somebody who understands that, like a Lomachenko or Shakur Stevenson, who have the mind to be able to execute those type of things.
Yeah, it's like muscle.
Tiger, real quick, can you drop the link in the chat again? I'm gonna log on to my other phone because this one about to die. So I'm gonna get right phone, but I'm gonna get on my other phone. Go ahead.
And Rachel's getting ready to come back up right now too. She's in the back.
It's like muscle memory though, Clay. Remember Wilder's first fight against Devern? He was jabbing and outboxed him. And then you remember after that, he just went straight for the knockout. Like his style kind of changed a little bit because of the competition and the way he was fighting, you know.
Right.
Like he was more of a boxer at first. Then once he started knocking people out, that was all he was looking for. Remember, he started saying that you got to be good for 12 rounds. I only got to be good for 1 second, you know?
Exactly.
So I think it become more of like a muscle memory thing. And I think that can happen to a fighter like Tank, who just could get the knockout, but if not, can he go 12 rounds of straight boxing? We ain't seen him do that.
Right. He hasn't had to, right? And that's kind of like the matchmaking thing a little bit, right? It's kind of like the development kind of gets, and we don't know that. And I'm not saying that this is going to be what goes on with Tank. I'm going to assume that, you know, he's training well. He's at least seeing it in the gym, that he's getting good sparring in the gym. That's making him adjust. But fighters seem to suffer from bad matchmaking. From that's why I think when you look at Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, Terrence brought that. He had to adjust a lot. He had to adjust a lot because, believe it or not, his fights were more awkward. He had to really fight his fighters differently. He went from a Gamboa, you know what I'm saying, and then he's in the ring. You know what I'm saying? With what's the homeboy's name? What's my African brother's name? What's his name?
What's his name? Hit him with a body shot.
Julius Ndongo.
Yeah, Ndongo.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So he's adjusting constantly, and you saw him actually bring that adjustment IQ to when he fought Madrimov, because Madrimov came in a complete different way to him, and he had to adjust to that. People don't like that, but if you like boxing, then you saw what he was doing in there.
Of course.
When he fought against Errol Spence, it seemed like Errol Spence's matchmaking, Errol Spence was able to be effective walking down dudes, keeping that high guard, beating that body up. And when it came time to adjust against Terrence, he couldn't adjust. It was too much going on at one time. He couldn't do it.
But, see, and to answer that too, Clay, is that's why, in my opinion, that's why you see the last couple fights, or the last couple fights that at least they're trying to make for Tank, are positioned around the type of fighter Shakur is. If you look at the fact that they want to align him with Ryo, why? Ryo's a left-hander. Why did they go after Frank? Frank is the same way. They have, and I want to make sure that I say this correctly, because they are not Shakur by any means whatsoever, but they are shadows of his style.
Right.
And that's also why we want to see Shakur. That's why we liked when he fight Oscar Valdez. That's why we wanted to see him fight Pitbull. That's why we want to see him fight somebody like a Zepeda. Why? Because we know that they're going to walk him down and give him that pressure, or at least attempt to, and we want to see how he adjusts to those things. But that's why you have to fight so many different styles. But we also know, and we also know that he did that coming up in the amateurs and coming up in the Olympics, is that part of their style was going to fight as many different styles as possible and seeing those things firsthand, so that it was muscle memory and they could come back to it and make those adjustments in the fight at any given moment.
100%. Salute, Rage. What's good?
What's up?
Chilling. You don't never come on the camera for my show, but I know I'm not Blue yet. Sorry, Blue. I ain't mean to do it to you like that, but I get petty, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying?
But that's the same thing you can say with like Devin Haney style, when people like he don't go for the knockout because he's a natural boxer and that's his muscle memory. He boxes and he'll outbox you. And if he can knock you out while he's boxing you, it's a knockout. But if not, he's just gonna slay you for 12 rounds.
But we always knew that Devin Haney's problem has always been his discipline. That's always been Devin Haney's problem. He's a decent boxer, but his lack of discipline and lack of foot movement, especially when he got heavy on his feet, that's always, we always knew that was, well, at least those who box or love boxing, we knew that was going to be his downfall. He doesn't move, and he lacks discipline heavily.
I don't like the fact that he drained it. I think he need to go on up to welter 47, man, where he
got a mission. He got something to figure out. He got to figure out who he's going to be. I don't know. I just want to see him back. I want to see his mind state.
I think boxing good with Devin Haney. I just don't like him at 40. I want to see him go to 47.
No, I want to see who Devin Haney is. Where's his mind at? Is he here for it? Is he trying to, when you get tried that way and you make good money, and he, his father and his family, they invest well, they keep him where he needs to be. Does he got that drive and that fire to come in and be that fighter that was there trying to prove himself?
You talking about waking up in the Silk Road?
Yeah, I'm talking about that good life. I'm talking about he wearing a lot of expensive clothes lately. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but also that mindset.
I think he will, because I just think that Devin Haney is that's not what he's driven by.
Right.
He grew up watching Floyd, watching the greats, and that's what drives him. You know what I mean? To be to match that. And I think in a weird way, the best thing that happened to him was the fact that he had this situation with Ryan, and it woke him up because it got overturned, right? It we can't erase what we saw.
He got a freebie. He got a freebie. He got a lesson without having to take the L.
Right. What physically happened, you can't erase that.
Right.
So let me ask you that, Blue. Let me ask you that. Do you think, because I hear what you're saying, and I heard you say it'll wake him up, and maybe it is going to be a turning point where we see the most focused Devin that we've ever seen, but mentally and emotionally, what do you think this does?
I think it was the best thing that happened to him.
But remember,
because like we said, right? He didn't have the I think that Devin Haney's gonna go back to the drawing board, and he's gonna be like, all right, I got a chance to correct the wrongs to be great. You know what I'm saying? The difference, like with Wilder, right? Wilder has this uncanny, unnatural one punch erase you power that it's almost so difficult to fall back into a habit of using, right? It's like in other sports, like if you are the fastest man in football, right? Those dudes typically don't work out as wide receivers because they just lean on that, right? They don't fall into the natural route running, the discipline. They don't do it because I don't have to.
Like
I could outrun everybody, right? Real. And that's Wilder, right? After the Stavern first fight, after the Chris Arreola fight, he stopped Chris Arreola with a jab. Now, obviously, Chris Arreola ain't Tyson Fury, and he ain't Usyk and these dudes, right? But we know the ability is there, the discipline is there. But once I learned in the Ortiz fight and the fight he had with
Brazil.
No, not Brazil. The other dude. What was the
you talking about the Zoe? You talking about
Spilka. Remember he was
he almost killed that
on the back foot. Yeah, right. It was like he was losing those fights, but I can erase you with this one punch.
Yeah,
it's hard not to rely on it now. You know what I'm saying? Like I discovered that all I got to do is touch you properly. I don't even got to hit you clean. And then in the Fury first fight, he dropped him twice and never hit him clean. That's true. So it's like, bro, I don't have to like it. No matter how much you try to drill, it's like Rachel could attest to this, being a mom, right? If you have a child that's just a genius and ain't got to study, and they continue to pass all these tests without studying, it's gonna be impossible for you to be like, bro, you got to study. You're gonna be like, why?
I got a son right now who doing his homework right before he leave in the morning. Like, let me knock this out right quick, bro. Right. What are you doing? You ain't do that last night?
Right.
No, same more. I've talked to you about this. Like Jarrell, my boys are homeschooled, and we travel a lot. We were in Orlando for about a week. We're going to be in Puerto Rico for 3 weeks in October. And like, shoot, these kids wake up, they're bypassing all of their stuff. They're doing the test. They're home. Their teachers that are online are like, does he need any help? And I like looked at his stuff. I'm like, he has 98% and 100+% in some of the subjects. I don't think he needs your help. Right. Like, then what are you going to tell them?
Right. Exactly. And that's like my son, right? My youngest son is that way. And that's why I use the example. But he's somebody, we just went to San Francisco. He's 13. Didn't have to ask him, didn't have to say anything. He took every sub. He's like, I'm gonna miss a day. You're gonna miss a day of school. He went to each teacher, got everything he needed to take with him. I didn't even know he had it. Downloaded it on his laptop. In the middle, I'm like, bro, what are you doing? He laptop opens, doing my homework for this. He can't he get anything under. You understand? So you have some people, and my point in saying this was like, I think Devin Haney is one of those people that's going to lean on correcting it, opposed to saying, "Oh, I think it's a wake up call to say, you know what? as I go, it's going to be more difficult. So I got to pay attention to detail, more attention than he might have thought that he was already outworking everybody. I'm already more skilled. I'm already super disciplined. And now he ran into a situation and it's like, uh-oh. But he got the opportunity. Again, he can't erase what we saw. You can't erase what physically happened. That can't be erased. But he got a layup, right? In the sense of saying that now you have this situation with Ryan testing positive for performance enhancers. He got suspended. The fight got overturned. You don't have the loss. You got a chance to go back to the drawing board and right the wrongs, because even in that fight, he kept dropping the right hand. He kept getting hit with the left hand. He kept making those little mistakes. You don't get away with it.
Yeah, even when he throws his jab, that was always my one thing. Devin throws his jab and he pulls that right hand out of the way, and I was just like, but I agree with you. I think Devin, I know Devin as well. He's from Oakland. That's where I'm from. Yeah. I mean, he's from Vegas now, but he's from Oakland. Right. But I run into him enough times. He's a smart young man for sure, and I believe that he has the ability to put it together.
And it's not even just like his in-ring stuff that he's going to have to fix. Like, we've all seen it. Like we said, like, you know, like there was something off, and he said it himself that, you know, he was sleeping on him in the first couple rounds when he got caught, right? Yeah. But I think it's also even just outside of that. First of all, he's young, right? And he's realizing, like, listen, everyone that's praising me and that's saying that they're my friend in this business aren't really my friends. Like, I need to look out for my own. And I think that there were certain situations that, you know, the people he thought was behind him, like, they snaked him, you know, and he's seeing it now. Yep. Mm-hmm. And so I think, like, you know, that kind of experience so early, like, will just allow him to, when he's talking to any of these promoters or trying to get a fight on, just looking with, you know, both eyes wide open. So now he doesn't get put into these situations. Like, you know, like we were talking about with Ryan being overweight, he should have, you know, regardless of what anyone else said, he should have totally had that rehydration clause on Ryan only, you know. But these are things like after the fact that, you know, you can't reverse time. It's only going to be a learning experience. And next time, you know, like, listen, I'm going to stipulate this, whether you like it or not, because I'm the one that's going to be fighting in the ring.
And let's be honest, we know Ryan is a big pull and a big draw, but Devin is also a cash cow. Not to the level we see Tank, and maybe not even the fandom that we see behind Ryan, but he's a moneymaker. I mean, his name, his likeness, his image, we know that he has the ability to make a lot of networks money and make other fighters a lot of money. May not be the case when he has to go negotiate his own purses at the purse bid, but we know that he has the right business team behind him. I think you're right in saying now that he's had this wake-up call. I wanted to say, too, and it's something that I thought about while you were speaking about, you know, the people around him. I immediately thought of how we were just talking about Shakur, Wally Moses, how that used to be a part of it. They used to be a part of his team. My fault. Hold on. I thought about how they used to be a part of his team or when he was younger, but I started thinking about it in a sense of one of the things that I loved the most was what Shakur did after Devin's fight and what he didn't do. And also how I seen Devin reach back out to Shakur and was like, hey, you a real one for that. I think he is starting to recognize, hey, I may never, because we may fight, we may never train again, but I love to see how he was able to stop, take a moment, and recognize, hey, not everybody, even though we're opposition, you don't mean me harm in any kind of way. And I had people who were a part of my team who meant the worst for me. And even though we're opposition, you still had love for me enough not to jump on board and to belittle me in my time or my worst time. I just had to mention that because I thought that was big of both young men, actually.
Hey, so y'all don't think that Haney can have that same effect? AB, remember he said after the Madonna loss, that's why he quit letting his hands go so much? You don't think that effect can come on Dev, you know, to where he just kind of trigger shy, or you know.
I think that Dev needs to be held to the standard of any fighter. He's a human being, and anything that has happened to him can affect him in an adverse way, right? Yeah. But you know, it's all about his character. It's all about what his goals are and his aspiration is, and what he wants to be in this boxing space. If he's passionate enough and he really is true to his word about wanting to be legacy driven, and knowing that that's where Devin Haney started from, that foundation of being a legacy driven fighter who wanted to gain all kinds of accolades and wanted to be celebrated with the greatest fighters that are in the game. If that passion is real, then he'll find something to tap into. He'll be working on that as we speak. That's what he'll be preparing for, and he'll be coming with that chip on his shoulder. And like Blue said, this loss that he took, this experience that he's had, will actually work towards his benefit and actually be a catalyst that he can jump from, and actually jump into being the best fighter he can be, to close those gaps in there, to make the adjustments in his training, to add the right elements to him that weren't there before the fight. And we have a chance of seeing potentially the best Devin Haney that we've ever seen, based off of this loss from Ryan Garcia. Maybe a Devin Haney we would have never seen without this experience. So it's up to Devin, right? It's up to Devin to decide, you know, is boxing still that important to him? Is the dreams he had when he was 16 years old, 17 years old, trying to become, you know, trying to be the next Floyd or whatever his aspiration, whatever it is that he was trying to do, if it's still there, this experience, being that he didn't even have to take the loss, that it gets to get taken off his record, could be the big experience he needed to move him forward. I say the same thing about Virgil Ortiz as well. I think Virgil Ortiz's last experience that he had fighting against Serhiy Bohachuk, him walking away that win, people might want to say it was a robbery, but it was also a huge opportunity for him and Robert Garcia to see things that they wouldn't have gotten to see, and not take the loss with it, and give Virgil the incentive he needs. When you have a fighter who's having back-to-back first round knockouts like that, you know what I'm saying, first, second round knockouts, it's hard to give them that motivation to improve in the gym, because it's like, I'm winning doing this, you know what I mean? So I'm going to continue doing what I'm doing.
You're coddling.
Right. So, but now he got a real fight with a champion. He gets to walk away with the victory, but he also gets to walk away with some truth. He gets to walk away with some honesty. His camp gets to walk away with some honesty, and they get to develop in a way that they would have never developed without that experience. So Devin can go either way. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the thing is like exactly what Claymore was saying. Like it's up to Devin at this point if he really wants to go for the legacy, because he's already accomplished, you know, a lot. And it's not like he hasn't gone through adversity, you know, way back, like even with the first Kambosos fight, he was fighting against adversity. So we're not talking about, I don't know, we're not talking about a child that doesn't know, like he's like, oh my God, what do I do? Because I've been, my hand has been held the entire time, which we've seen other fighters who, you know, 15-0, 20-0, and you're like, you fought no one. There's no adversity in you. You don't know what you're going to do. But we've seen Devin have to fight adversity to get these belts. And, you know, with all the stuff that the promotions are doing, he's been through that. So in all honesty, it's at this point with, you know, the money they've made, are they comfortable with the money they made? And do you want to just go for legacy and come back? Or are you good? Because either way for me, like, I mean, with boxers, like, listen, like, as much as we're comparing to like Tank and Floyd and, you know, $20-30 million purses thing, let's be honest, within boxing, people in that weight category at 140 isn't making anywhere near even $1 million, right? Yeah. Some of them don't even make $500,000. So that being said, I think sometimes we put that weird expectation of like, well, he should be making $5 million. It's like, dude, no, you're talking about like 1%, 0.5% of boxers that even break that $1 million mark.
Right. So here's the thing, and I'll get them back on to tell you, I was not a part of it. Let me make that very clear. But when they were trying to make the Bud and Spence fight, they will tell you that I was in there trying to be a part of making that and bringing the money to the table for that, through investors, through whatever, sponsors and more. I saw what they were asking for in comparison to what they had made before and in comparison to what other boxers made. And then you got guys like the Floyds and Tanks and more that got these major contracts. That's not really heard of in the sport of boxing. You got the Canelos. You got a very special few people that get that kind of money. You got a lot of guys that are still barely fighting for $100,000, $200,000, $300,000 purses, if that. I'm gonna call you right back. That was actually Tilo. But in trying to make that whole fight, I've seen it firsthand. What's up, Tilo?
Yeah, that's
I mean, but the thing about it, dude, I mean, with Dev, like, he only been doing big fights as of lately. So do y'all see him even coming back, taking a, I guess, regular fight and not a big fight, like a pay-per-view or something like that? Because he hasn't been doing them. He only been doing pay-per-views.
I think, you know, the Liam Paro fight, I like that fight. You know what I'm saying?
But I see Eddie making that pay-per-view.
Hey, Liam a monster, though.
But Eddie gonna make that a pay-per-view, though. I don't see Eddie making that no small fight. I mean, you got Devin, Leon, a whole different country. Devin, Australia again. Like,
I think that it's hard for Devin to go backwards. With, as far as, you know, does he want to, like Rachel said, where does he want to stand? As far as, do you want to build yourself back up, or do you want to go jump right back in the deep end? You know what I'm saying? Do you want to, like, you know, you don't get paid a certain amount of money. Dev is going to be looking to get paid a certain amount of money.
I mean, right? He turned down the last fight because the purse bid was like 1.7 or something. He didn't want it. Like, I mean,
he felt disrespected.
Right? He only gonna want big fights. That's why I'm like, what kind of fights do y'all even see him coming back to? Because
I think that you know, I think that he wants to prove that, hey, listen, I'm top notch. You know what I'm saying, and what I do. You know what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm top notch in what I do, and you know, I want to prove. I think he's gonna be motivated to prove to the people that he's still at the top. Now,
he's staying at 40.
If that's a mistake or not, we'll find out.
Yeah, y'all think he's staying at 40?
Me personally, I mean, I'll let Blue look like I know Blue probably got the lowdown on it, so I'm gonna.
You know what? I haven't because I just wanted them to rest. You know what I'm saying? Like, I haven't reached out to them. I haven't. You know what I'm saying? I just want.
He killing himself at 40, man. He gotta move up, man. Because I know he better. I mean, come on, man. He's
especially in an IBF. I don't like this Liam Paro situation personally like that, but I'm ready to see him come back if he's ready to come back. Yeah, man. I think Devin. That's the big decision. I think that's part of the big decision that Devin has to make. Right. The big decision is if you're committed to legacy and you're committed to accomplishing these goals. There's some hard decisions that need to be made. Devin's been notorious. I've heard notoriously that Devin in camp, his sparring is somebody's sound is going crazy. I've heard notoriously that Devin has had great sparring session, fighting guys that are way bigger than him, punching, doing things that, you know, I mean, we haven't got to see. And when he gets in the ring, he's not able to deliver on what he's saying. I remember him going into the Ryan Garcia fight. I knew somebody who worked with the camp a little bit, and somebody who was there in the gym watching him spar. And they said they were all assuring me that, yo, Devin's probably gonna stop this dude in this fight. He's going for it. He's strong as hell right now. He's really doing some crazy things in the gym. And then you see him, you know, with that hard weight cut, you see him with the raccoon eyes, and you see how he looks, and you know for a fact that's not happening the next day, right? Like, you know, the day before, you know that's not happening, and you're just hoping that he sticks to the boxing and he's able to walk away with a victory again if you care to see him win. He has to be getting tired of that.
I'm glad you said that, Clay. I want to ask Rachel this, right? At one, you being the fighter, Nonito being the legend, right? At what point in time do you realize in camp, like, when does it dawn on you, like Clay said, he got on the scale? Because I watched him prepare, and then when time to the weight cut, it's like it's a drastic difference. At what point in time do you realize this ain't gonna be easy? This is gonna be a problem?
I would say probably the week before. Like my drastic weight cut was only because someone signed me up to a tournament and I didn't know I had to make weight and I had 2 days to drop 10 pounds. Okay. So, but usually I'm, I'm trending about 10 pounds higher on Monday. And then by Friday, I hit the weight and then go back up. So does Nonito. Nonito is 10 pounds Monday and then comes in Friday, touches it, goes back up 10 pounds, 8 to 10. That's as much as he gains. But before that, like for example, right now he's about 135. If he used to make 118, he'll start moving down lower and lower and lower. So the crazy part is for us, like Nonito's never missed weight. I've never missed weight. So I couldn't even tell you if, where that problem is going to be. But I would suspect every boxer knows like, hey, the week before the fight, 7 days or 14 days out, I should be around this area. And if you're higher than that, you know that it's gonna be harder now, right? Because now you're putting so much more emphasis on fight week, and the fight week, you don't get to rest. You have to travel fight week. You have to go to all these, the amounts of interviews, the arrivals, the media, the press conference, like they're just like done. That's why I always think the media workouts are laughable. Nobody moves. They're like, I'm doing this, like yay, bye. Like it's silly because these guys are dead. They're dead.
Right.
You're by, what is it? Wednesday is when media workouts are. By Wednesday, they should be at least Monday, Tuesday, 6 to 8 pounds, depending. Like, of course, I'm talking about lower weights because that's where we are. But the heavier you are, it's supposed to be easier for you to cut when you're, 6 pounds closer to, the weigh-in date. But yeah, like I would suspect at the very least that if you were trending it by 2 weeks before the fight, you'll start to know if you're going to have a hard fight week. Just making that weight.
Okay, so it's safe to say, and my point in asking that was like Clay was saying, so, and they were saying that Dev had a hard weight cut, but it's safe to say he might not know until that 2 week to week mark. He might think that physically I could do it.
Yeah. And you got to remember, we're all aging, right? All of us are getting older. The metabolism is getting slower. So what could have been easier for him the last fight might not have been easier for this fight. And even if we're just talking about 3 pounds, if you're not trending right, and all of a sudden you're like, the Thursday night, you're like, what the hell? I was supposed to only be 1.5, drink water, and then cut more. But if you're going 3 or 4 pounds on a Thursday night and you were never supposed to be there, now instead of let me just drink water, go to sleep, cut it in the morning, now you're having to cut the Thursday night and then hope and pray that you're also going to drop the 2 the next morning. So, things like that start to get, they trend, the actions of everything trend differently. Like you could literally, you can literally get off a plane and bloat. I don't know if you guys have ever done this, but like,
it happened to me last night.
Right?
It happened, all of a sudden to me last night.
Yeah, you take, let's say you took off your shoes during the flight or you whatever, and then mine's always my rings. Like I'll know if I bloated up in the plane. You bloat and you were supposed to be trending at 10, then you go run when you get there and you step on the scale again and you're still 10. That means your body's retaining, right? So now you're like, holy shit, I was supposed to drop 2 or 3 during this workout, but my body, I got to get my body to expel the water. I need it to expel the water. So yeah, there's things that happen fight week that, well, and let me wrap it up with this. There's also, we prepared this after I saw a mishap with Nonito's scales before. I step on this, I go down on the morning of the weigh-ins. Once they set up the scale, I go down fully dressed, I step on the scale. Then I go up to Nonito's room where he has his own scale, and I step on the scale exactly. So I know that when we come down, he knows what the difference is, if there's a difference between our scales, because there could be a difference. So even the calibration in what you're thinking is, oh, I'm on weight, and then doing a test run on the official scale and realizing you're off by 1.5 pounds. Like that's all messy. That could all mess you up because you might already drained enough and you didn't think that you were done. You were like, I'm done, so I don't have to cut, realizing you still have another 1.5 pounds to do.
Yeah, that happened with Gary Russell with the Lomachenko fight.
Yeah. Do you think that it gets to a point, you know, Devin coming off of that Regis Prograis fight, he did the weight cut very well. He actually, you know, he was strong the night of the fight. He was doing a lot of, people thought he should have stopped Regis. The weight training in between the Regis Prograis fight and the Ryan Garcia fight, where he was working on getting strong. Because I think it was clear to me that Devin Haney was trying to work on becoming a stronger, harder puncher. He wanted to deliver those knockouts. He thought he could because of the sparring that he was doing and what he was doing there. But there has to be a sense of frustration to revisit and think you finally made it to that threshold of, as a boxer, I'm sure you want to balance your weight cut with your power, right? Like, I want to be as strong as I can without giving up so much and find that weight class where I can be effective at. Him going through that weight cut problem with Ryan Garcia again, there's got to be some frustration there to where Devin Haney has to understand that I need to move up in weight. I need to find a weight class to where I'm still strong, you know what I'm saying? But I need to get this weight cut thing down. It's holding me back at this point in my career. It's really holding me back. Do you think that frustration should be there at this point for Devin, if he's going to come back to know that he has to fight at 147, or, you know what I'm saying, face bigger punchers, face stronger fighters, and be competitive up there the same way he was when he was at 135 or 140?
I think at the end of the day, he has to, like you were saying, like, figure out where it's supposed to be, right? So if you're doing weight training, you're trying to get bigger. The problem is that if you're working on like more bulk and mass, then you're actually working out a lot of the slower twitch muscles than you are the fast twitch muscles, which we need in boxing. And if he's gaining that mass, it's going to be a lot harder for him to cut. For what I'm assuming, you're saying that he was doing a lot more heavy weights,
I'm trying to say, he got stronger muscle. How's that weight cut treating him, trying to do that?
Yeah. I mean, it's not like he can't lean it out, almost like more of a Bruce Lee body than, like, you know, a WWE wrestler kind of guy. But he has to make that decision because he has to compare. Like I said, you have to compare and contrast what the hell was different between Regis' weight cut and that the weight cut with Ryan. Because even, like, you look at it, who was it, the 160 pounder from Top Rank that went to the hospital for an IV?
Janabek.
He was like, what do you mean he just went to the hospital with a how many times has he made 160 and it was fine? So something went wrong, and he's gonna have to, I mean, I know he's saying that he's, you know, he wants to come back to 160, but he's gonna have to look at that and be like, what the hell happened? Was I not hydrated enough? Because that's a huge thing. A lot of the boxers cut water out way too early. So when they're trying to sweat, there's nothing coming out. So something has to had to have happened between these two fights that is causing him to hold on to water and having a more extreme weight cut. Now, if he would like to stay, then he has to make the decision to not lift as heavy and to make sure he's fully hydrated for the weight cut. If he wants to move up, he's going to have to figure out again, like, all right, well, I have to balance bulk and speed, because you don't want to be very bulky and hit hard, but then not hit anything because you're throwing so slow. But you also need to have, you know, of course, fast twitch muscle and have that effect in the higher weight category. And 40 and 47, that's 7 pounds. Like when we were, you know, before that, it was 5 pounds. Go into the lower weight division to 3. So 7 pounds, you have to look at, okay, 47, how much are the guys that are walking in at 47 at that weight? Are they carrying more speed or are they slower? It just depends on the fighter, because there's a lot of guys that they get bigger. Even if you look at Canelo and you look at his range of how when he started and how he started moving up in weight, he's walking more and he's sitting on his punches more than he is moving around the ring. So there's pros and cons of moving up or staying in the same weight. It just, it has to be his decision, and he's going to have to be the one to be like, okay, this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to do it, and move forward.
Now, Rachel, I was just looking at it and I was Googling it. It says that it's 3 to 7 months recovery period for a ligament in the hand without contact.
Yeah, we're not even talking about impact. Yep. Yeah. Right. Full range.
So, and I worked in the operating room for 17 years, and I know it varies from person to person depending on the person, right? But boxing, right? That's direct impact on that knuckles, and him, that being his go-to, his left hand, and his middle knuckle on top of it. The middle one.
The one of the most important, like, this could be a career-changing injury, right? Like, let's be honest, this kind of type of injury for somebody who has brittle hands. I mean, Mayweather was able to do it, but this is a bad injury, right? No, yes, like for him.
I mean, those are your tools. I mean, you can have, a toe surgery, right? But I mean, even a shoulder surgery. But I mean, those are your tools. So if you don't have your tools to fight anymore, and we also have to think about the mental and emotional state that is going to go through your mind when you're trying to hit something, right? So even the first day he's going to go back in the gym, it's going to be like, am I going to re-injure this? Or elongate my recovery period because, I did something. Then he's gonna from just slightly hitting speed bags and then mitts and then heavy bag and then sparring, because again we're going from I'm going to assume he goes from 16-ounce gloves, and then of course during the fight he's 8-ounce, right? 40 sorry, after 40 underneath 47 is 8. So yeah, an 8-ounce glove, now what, you barely have any protection anymore. So the mental capacity of just throwing it and wondering if it's going to hold up during the fight is also one of those things that could play into a factor.
Yeah, trust me, right? It's like in basketball when you have knee surgeries or Achilles, it's trusting it when you jump. It's not that if you jump, it's how you come back down, right? Do you trust it?
And tendons tend to heal different, right? Like tendons don't heal back 100% always. Like a tendon sometimes just, you heard it in a way that it's just not back, like, right?
It depends on the person. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
Like, and it depends on what your specialty is, right? For instance, Kevin Durant had Achilles tendon torn. It didn't affect him in his game as much as it did Klay Thompson.
Right.
Right? Because his game is not predicated on the same type of movement, right? So when you look at Shakur, he has a higher volume of punch output than, let's say, a Tank, right? He relies more on scoring points, and that left hand is a major part of scoring those points for him. So I look at it this: it might be even better. Maybe this is something lingering that needed to happen. I'm not wishing it on him, but I'm saying that he needs to get it corrected. You know what I'm saying? So he can be. Maybe he was ignoring it for way too long, and now it's like
he went through that fight with the already injured. Then he fought again, Artitunium. So it's been like that for a while. So you're right.
Right. That's what I'm saying. The Edwin De Los Santos fight. He had
That's about a year and a half of it being hurt. Then.
Yeah, that was November.
Yeah, but these guys, come on, let's be honest. First of all, nobody likes to go to the doctor. Also, nobody wants to hear bad news. So these guys are like, oh, hold on, let me just ice it. Right. And then even when it comes to that, like, tell them to ice it for 20 minutes on and off. And like the second round of ice, they're not doing the second round of ice. They're like, no, it's good. I can open, close my hand. I'm fine.
Right.
Yeah, I mean,
And just keep doing it.
Like, I broke my wrist. I didn't go straight to the hospital until I actually seen it swelling up, and I couldn't move.
See?
To the hospital.
Same here.
Yeah.
I broke my hand in 3 places, 3 separate places, shattered it, and I did it in a game at it was at 1 o'clock. At 1 o'clock, I ain't go to the hospital till like 3 in the morning. I tried to go to sleep, and it was like woof 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 woof, and I was like, oh man, I couldn't concentrate to go to sleep. So I was like, let me just go ahead and go to the hospital. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and what happens after the fight too is what? Like, so after the fight, you might ice it, but then you rest, right? You're not going back into the gym. You're not going back into sparring and hitting a bag tomorrow. So they rest up until, and they might run or whatever, but they're not really hitting the bags hard again until what? The next contract signed. So you go back into a camp and you're like,
reframe it.
This shit still hurts. But I just signed a contract. Everyone's happy. We negotiated. We did all this business work. And now I can't pull out. Like, let's just get through this. Let's just get through this.
That's what he did with De Los Santos, it seems. At the end of the day, it seems like he pushed through it. It's sad to a degree. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, damn, bro. Like, he finally got out of that top rank situation, got into a situation where he's going to make a decent check. He got that $5 million guarantee. He's finally in the conversations of fighting Tank Davis. Tank is wanting to fight him. He's got his biggest paydays ahead of him. And, you know, you get an injury like this that could really just derail the whole entire movement right now. It could really derail the whole trajectory of it. And then when he comes back, no tune-up fights. Tank's going to be ready. If he comes back towards the middle end of next year, he's risking potentially getting put directly into a Tank fight, maybe one tune-up fight before a Tank fight, and I just couldn't imagine he's going to be the best version of himself, you know what I'm saying, that he could be when he gets in there with Tank. So, you know, it's bittersweet for him, I'm sure. You got to kind of figure it out.
He ducking Tank.
Huh?
I mean, he got a style for it though, because he defensive first. So,
I mean, he'll be whatever he's gonna be, but there got to always be questions in the back of your mind of who he could have been, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? Like, he'll be whatever he is. He'll be the best version of whatever he can be, whoever Shakur is after this. But you know when you just know like a version of you that you just never know if that version of you would have competed at the level that, you know, God forbid he loses. You know, that'll always be a question in the back of your mind.
Grant Hill, basically. We never really got to see Grant Hill hit his because of the injuries. You know, He was good, but we never got to see the real Grant Hill.
100%.
And I think it also depends on how committed you are to the recovery, right? Because some like Rachel said, some athletes, you know, you be like, oh, I'm good. I could do it now. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I'm good right now. I don't need to go. You know what I'm saying? Recovery and therapy can be just as tough as the injury itself. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't follow,
and that's my hope. I hope he stays out until he absolutely is completely recovered, because not enough athletes do that. They want so badly to jump back in there, they don't take the necessary time.
Right.
Well, and you got to also consider, because I'm looking at the rankings right now at BC. If they end up putting him in champion in recess, and they put someone into the interim position or elevate them to, could they elevate him to a not him, somebody else, a champion status, and then when Shakur comes back, he has to fight that guy.
Yeah, remember.
So how many requirements? Let's just say there's a Tank fight that's going to be out there, right? Like, let's just say if that fight comes, like it's on the table now, what administration requirements are going to be put on him by the WBC for him to have the belt on the line? Does that make sense?
Right.
And remember,
who's next in line?
William Zepeda's number 1, Raymond Morataya is number 2, Keyshawn Davis is 3, De Los Santos is 4.
I guarantee you, William Zepeda now will fight for that opportunity.
But I'm saying, like, even if they said, like, hey, Tank, blah blah blah, and it, like, Shakur is ready to fight, like, you don't know what the WBC is gonna do. Like, if they're like, wait, you can't fight that one yet. You're not even you've been recessed. you need to fight the guy that's up right now because we waited for you for a year or whatever.
Well, let's
whatever.
hope.
Now, does he fight? Does he go into it with?
Man, that's not making people fight their mandatories, a la Canelo. So hopefully the WBC don't. You know,
they money driven, bro. What they do for Canelo, we know what that's all about. That's not the same situation for Shakur. That ain't got nothing to do with nothing. You know what I mean? Nothing good. No grace. No grace, no mercy in that situation. That's about money in, money out. And you're going to see, you know what I'm saying? They ain't got nothing to do with, oh, hell no. You see they put the pressure on Devin too. You know what I mean? Like at the end of the day, they're not holding back no punches when it comes to their money. They want their fights. They want their belts mixed in with the biggest fights possible so they can pull that 3%. And whatever that looks like, what they doing.
I mean, we seen the IBF just do it with Usyk, and he ain't even been undisputed 90 days yet. They stripped him, and I mean, like,
what excuses, Manny King? What are you talking about, bro?
Rachel, how does that work with champion and recess? The situation we have like right now with Devin, if he fights Zepeda, he's champion. I mean, not Zepeda, Williams,
Paro.
How's that gonna work? Because Paro got the IBF belt.
So if Devin's champion in recess and then he wants to fight Paro,
right,
that has the IBF belt, they have to reinstate him, and it's highly dependent on what the WBC ruling is going to be as far as if he needs to fight someone before that. So where's the mandatory position? Where was a mandatory supposed to be called after the Ryan Garcia fight? And if it was,
Martin, yep.
I'm going to heavily assume that they're going to require him to fight the WBC mandatory, or if they allow for a special exemption, because there are special exemptions. I know the WBA has it. You have to request a special exemption to be elevated, but then the requirement would be whoever wins that fight has to fight the mandatory for the WBC. They're first in line. Just kind of like how Crawford and Spence and how Crawford was stripped, because they knew that even though there was that rematch clause, the IBF is like, we told you whoever wins has to fight this guy. If you guys don't do it, then we're stripping whoever won. So they could put those stipulations in once that happens. And again, I think it's going to be dependent on how long he's going to sit out, because they're going, like Claymore was saying, like money is what it's with a champion recess. You're not collecting any fees. So you have to have an interim, because the interim at least will give you 3% on each fighter that's fighting for the interim, right? You want to have that money still rolling in. And that's why champion and recess, they always put someone in position that will still make the money roll.
Technically, Shakur won't be able to fight till June, July next year anyway.
When Devin had that injury, the WBC stripped him immediately. Well, they put him in champion in recess, remember?
Right.
Is Charlo still champion in recess for the WBC?
They stripped him now.
They stripped him,
yeah. He's gone.
They stripped him?
Yeah, they stripped him. I mean, he got so much going on. It won't even matter at this point.
I remember he had the WBC for a while, though.
Bro, he had the WBC since 2021.
Yeah, he had it for a while. I didn't know they stripped him.
Yeah, he had the WBC from 2021. That's when Canelo decided to leave the division and fight Kovalev, and they was going to try to give him that franchise belt, remember? And he was like, Canelo was like, I don't want it because I'm leaving the division anyway. And so they gave it to Jamal, and Jamal had it from that point forward. He had one defense, right? Which was the
Russian dude, whatever.
Yeah,
whatever he was, Eastern European.
Yeah, it was like 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's but they were saying that they wanted to give him the benefit of doubt because of what he was going through mentally. So it's like they pick and choose who they want to, like, what's the rules? Like, is it
what's the rules?
Mental health is an injury, right? It's the same thing. If you physically can't compete.
I mean, you would think, but
yo, so Manny King, it ain't about excuses, bro. It's about truth. Y'all just, bro, stop listening to rap music, bro. You guys, I don't know what to say. Like, listen, bro, like, if Shakur is hurt, yeah, like, I don't know. I just think that you guys have a problem processing truth. Like you take truth as, and you say these excuses, stop saying excuses, stop saying the truth. The man just hurt his hand and hurt a ligament in his hand and had to have emergency surgery. It's fair to say that unless he heals back 100%, that we don't know the version of Shakur Stevenson that's going to move forward and fighting a Tank. If Tank wins, nobody's going to take away from his victory. It's a victory. But the truth is the truth. It's not about making an excuse. Separate. Process what's happening right now for what it's worth, bro. It's not about making excuses. You guys got to stop, man. You make it hard to like take you seriously. I'm be honest.
That's
like it's hard.
Fanism. That's Tank fanism, man.
Yeah, bro. This takes nothing
you were
away
taking
from
Hey, you were taking him serious to begin with,
bro. I mean, you try to take him seriously. You try to be like, all right, I'm gonna take, but bro, everything don't got to be taken away from Tank. People have happen, fighters, you know what I'm saying? Every single day, bro. Everything don't got to come back to Tank. Y'all caught up. Y'all looking too hard. Bro. Take your Tank hat off.
There's so many boxers that have gone through surgery, and we always ask the same question.
Period.
You know, and it could, I mean, even for example, like I've had people, I was talking to someone and they're like, dude, I don't know. Do you think Beterbiev's knee surgery is going to hold up? Is he going to be able, you know, to feel like he can rotate properly, move around the ring without like any injury? Like those are questions that are just normal. If you have surgery, you get in a car accident or any of those things, like, is that person going to be the same? I can tell you, I was in an Uber accident in March and my shit's not the same at all. Like, I'm like all messed up now, you know, and I'm not fighting. So think about the people that their whole career is, their life is this is their career. So these, you know, surgeries that whether they're inflicted by the boxing or outside of the boxing, a boxer needs to be as close to 100% that they can be in that ring. And anything other than that, we're going to question, are they going to be okay? Are they going to be fighting the same? How is it working with their mental state? It's not just about Shakur. He's not the first and he's not going to be the last guy that's going to get surgery and still fight.
People still question the Spence and Crawford fight because of the Spence wreck that happened before that. Because he was people say
exactly
was that the full Spence that he fought in that fight? Like, I mean,
and I'm a Bud fan, right? So I'm not finna sit here and act like, no, I don't want to hear that, bro. Bud beat that dude. I don't want to hear. Nah, bro, this is reality. You don't get thrown out of a car doing 100 miles an hour, and that don't get factored into an athletic competition down the line. That doesn't get factored in. We got to stop it. Another thing I want to say is give you advice. You guys are having a hard time using your critical thinking skills. Just shut the television off when you go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? Like, get good sleep, shut the television off because it's messing with your ability to like stay on topic and to pay attention and the ADHD thing. You know what I mean? Shut the TV off. Monitor the amount of screen time you're doing on your iPad. You know, those type of things that make it easier for you to concentrate and focus on one thing without getting caught up and looking at a bunch of other things. Just some advice, whatever it's worth to you guys. I'm sure you ain't going to do it anyway, but I just want to help you guys pay attention better. You know what I mean?
I don't know if you guys know, but reading does help common sense.
Oh, don't bring up the reading because that is, listen, now you're asking for a lot. Let's start off with shutting the TV off at night. You know, I know a lot. Don't let that blue screen beat you to death. You know what I'm saying? That blue screen will do you dirty.
I just don't think Shakur is literally basing his whole professional career around Tank. I'm gonna do this because of Tank. I'm gonna get hurt because of Tank. I'm gonna do this because of Tank. Like, I don't think that man is really like that caught up with the Tank stuff. Like, the fans are making it like it's an injury. It happens. Like,
they want it to be that way.
Yeah, like they like, come on now.
Hey, let's get our last words and get out of here.
Man, God bless all these fighters, man. Injuries are horrible for these fighters that they base their whole entire career, you know, their whole family's security and stability on being an athlete, and these injuries come up, and you know, it's hard. It's hard for these guys. I'm sure it is. So hope everybody, you know what I'm saying, staying healthy out there. You guys as well. Thank you, Blue, as usual. You know what I'm saying? This has been a great experience being up here, bro. I appreciate you. You know what I mean? Allowing me to share the space with you and build. Shout out to the panel today. Had a great time. Shout out to Rachel for showing up and enlightening us as she always does, man. Boxing first.
Yeah, definitely appreciate you
thanks, guys, for having me. I know I don't come up really often, but I don't want to get in trouble for not putting.
We've been missing you.
I don't know. Every time Claymore calls me, I seem to get in some YouTube fights. So I'm just gonna.
I'm my bad. Yeah, hard, crazy.
YouTube.
But I'm always watching. I'm always in the chats and stuff. So the guys down in the chats, thanks for watching and giving us questions. And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe and share button on your way out. And thanks, guys. It was great to talk to you. I just don't want to get in trouble for not putting dinner on the table. So I gotta go.
I'm about to start messaging the chant.
Go feed him. Go feed him.
Say hi. And say I have to put dinner in.
Tell the champ you got to share.
What's up, man? I just got done training. I'm hungry. Man.
He's like, yeah. He's like, yeah. Whatever y'all talking about, bro. Look at me, bro. Famished, bro.
Yeah. I was like, time to go. Let's go. You gotta give me some Uber Eats or give me some food. Make some food for me, man.
Woman. I need some protein.
Yeah,
on my plate right now, woman.
Exactly. All right, peace, y'all.
All right,
salute.
Hey, Blue. I was gonna say before we leave, you was on here a couple weeks ago with Hart. I forgot his name. He a professional fighter. He fight at 168, 175.
Oh, you talking about Lonnie B?
Lonnie B.
Yeah.
He made you change your pick. Don't change your Bivol pick. Remember, better Biv is 40 on an injury. That knee ain't gonna be moving right in that ring. And Bivol got footwork of a welterweight. He gonna dance on that man. Don't change your pick.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
See, now you done made me change back. You see?
Yeah, go back. Come on back.
Right? Come on back.
Thank y'all for the time. Hey, thank y'all. I'm always glad to tune in and catch you guys because one of the most balanced shows out here. So I appreciate you guys. Love. Be blessed. Be safe. Enjoy your night.
Blessings to you. Appreciate
it. Salute to you, man.
All right, yeah, come on back on Bivol. Man, remember, he been a more active one too. He just recently fought. Better have been off with an injury. He's older.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. I ain't think about that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I completely forgot about the injury, bro.
Yeah, bro. And he's old. He's not old yet, but he's gonna wake up one morning and realize it. Let's see if he does it before or after this fight.
It might be October, right?
Yeah, he might wake up October. What is it? October 11th. He might wake up like,
oh yeah,
roll out the bed and be like, tomorrow's about to be a long day.
Yeah.
a bad knee against a guy like Bivol won't end well for you. I mean,
and he was already flat-footed,
right? So Bivol gonna dance on him. But I'm going. My girl calling me too. I gotta go. I'm gonna catch the show tomorrow.
All right, family.
All right, Clay.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
see you
Blue Tiger. Appreciate you.
Yeah,
Blue. Another one. Hopefully, you two treat you a little bit better tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? We get that figured out. A lot of people were talking about they didn't get no. They're like, damn, bro, we not getting no.
Bro, we had Clay. 15 minutes. We only had 40 people, bro.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Bro,
yeah,
come on, man.
I don't know, bro. That's I mean, I don't know, but I would say like maybe let's get these thumbnails out a little bit earlier. I don't know if that's a problem.
We got to do something, man. Yo, check this. The chat rate is 15. The average view per person is 18 minutes. They stay in at least 18 minutes, but the views is at 2,000.
Yeah,
that's insane. That don't even add up.
That math ain't math, and something in the soup ain't
math
souping.
Don't math.
Yeah,
bro.
I mean, I know we've been out of school for a minute, but shoot,
that's just nasty work right there, bro.
No doubt, brother. But we're gonna keep on going.
I didn't even know you went live until 5 minutes ago.
Crazy,
bro.
Crazy. But I had a good time though, building on this boxing. We didn't get to talk about this card this weekend coming up too much, but I guess
and we didn't get to talk about the Crawford situation, but
right. Too. Exactly.
And we're gonna talk about this because we gotta get into this Fundora. I mean Canelo Berlanga joint.
Right. Shout out to Berlanga. I'm rooting for Berlanga, bro. I'm rooting for 168 pound weight class division. I'm rooting for that. I'm rooting for that division coming back up, and I don't know if it's gonna work under Canelo Alvarez, bro. So, hey, Edgar, man, Keep that jab, pumping that jab, baby. Don't let them lie to you. It's the most important punch in the game. Pump that jab. Set up everything off the back of that jab. Keep that pressure up, and good luck to you, brother. We're gonna talk about you all week until you execute on Saturday.
You working Saturday?
I don't think so. I think I'm taking off. I'm gonna stay out for the fight.
All right, so you gonna call the fights with me?
Oh man, say less. You already know that.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Perfect.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'll be available. All right,
yes,
King.
Sir. All right, King. See you tomorrow.
My guy.
Peace, y'all. Blessings. Much love. Follow me on Instagram, Blue Blood Word. Y'all already know what it is. Your boy Blue signing off. We gone, man. Tune in tomorrow, man. This nasty work. They ain't gonna send out notifications. Nasty work, man. But peace. Appreciate y'all. Much love to the Queen, Jay Lynn. Much love to the Queen, Maya Egypt. Much love to the Queen, Kalia World. Much love to Tiana Scott. Any other of the queens I missed today while we was chopping it up, because I was on typing these dudes at YouTube, man. And salute to all the brothers and the kings, the family members, man. Appreciate each and every one of y'all. I know I didn't get to shout y'all out today and acknowledge y'all as I typically do, but I was on messaging these dudes, man. So I appreciate y'all 1000%, and I'll see y'all tomorrow, man. Blessings.